Good evening and welcome to Fan TV, the show that football fans are talking about. I'm Justin Lee Collins and I'll be here with you all the way through till 10 o'clock tonight. It's been a blistering weekend of football as always, with one or two surprises in both of the top English leagues. Fulham hammered third place Huddersfield in their championship clash 5-0 on Saturday, with Brighton doing the same to Norwich in the highest scoring games of the weekend. Meanwhile, Newcastle continued their domination of the league with a 2-1 win over Preston. Mitrovic took both of the Magpies' goals before picking up a yellow in the 84th minute. Beckford got the 90th minute consolation for Preston, and with 7 minutes added time, Newcastle had to fight to the bitter end to avoid the comeback. In the top tier, there were no surprises as Man City stayed top with their 4-0 drubbing of West Brom, but Arsenal are hot on their heels, as are Liverpool. Arsenal's game was a corker, with Sanchez opening the scoring after 19 minutes. However, Cech took out Duncan Watmore to give away a penalty, and Defoe hammered it home for Sunderland to equalise. The Gunners continued to dominate, firing home 3 in quick succession, 15 minutes from full time, another from Sanchez and 2 from Giroud, with his first 2 touches of the game to make it 4-1 at the final whistle. Liverpool took 4 as well, with Chan, Lovren, Matip and Firmino having 1 each in their win against Palace. MacArthur put 2 in the net for the Eagles, but it didn't help Pardew's side in the end. So Liverpool, Arsenal and Man City all on 23 points at the top, with only 4 goals separating the 3 teams. It's a fantastic season, it really is so far. Burnley Ken would have been dancing all the way home as his team took the surprise draw away at Old Trafford on Saturday. The game was not without controversy as Jose Mourinho was sent to the stands after allegedly hurling abuse at officials in the tunnel at half-time. He's now been charged with misconduct. It's the second time this week that he's fallen foul of the authorities after being charged on Thursday for comments he made about referee Anthony Taylor. More surprises on Sunday as Everton took on West Ham at home. Lukaku tapped in the first and Barkley the second to make it 2-0 Everton. And there was a bit of a damp squib as Chelsea played away at Southampton. Chelsea may have taken 2 goals and the win, but that was about it in an otherwise uneventful match. They are, however, the only team to beat Southampton at St Mary's Park in 2016. Only 1 game last night with Stoke at home to Swansea. Boney put one away with only 3 minutes on the clock, but Routledge soon pulled it back for the visitors a mere 5 minutes later. It stayed 1 apiece into the second half until Mawson put one in the net at the wrong end. Boney took a second and it was all over for the Welsh side. That was the weekend football here at Fan TV. We had a superb week full of our usual innuendo and supercharged football chat. Let's have a look at the best bits from last week.
People will disagree with his type of football, but you know, we're not Arabs, we're Liddles, ain't we? Let's be fair about it. You know, we've got to bring people in and work with what you got.
You know? But you're only 2 points behind Manchester United, though, Ollie. This is the thing.
We are, but then again, we're Manchester United. They could be getting relegated if they're playing, the team that they're playing.
You could be getting relegated, Sahil. You could be getting relegated, Sahil.
No,
it's not my words, Sahil. That's all his words. You could be getting relegated.
He's lucky he's only 9 years old, otherwise.
I love you, Mark. Wolverine, I love you there. We've got the split screen there. There's the shirt for the Wolverine.
But I have to say, last night, I felt things inside me that I haven't felt.
Well, I don't want to hear about your personal life. I don't want to hear about your personal life. We're going to go to a break where you're going to stop talking about that filth for 1 moment. Come join us, Angela.
She's making her exit, I think.
Cup of tea on.
What's she doing? What's she doing? Dancing?
This is serious TV.
Ryan Bertrand's out, Matthew Targett's out. You go, oh, they've got a left-back crisis. You bring in Sam McQueen, third-choice left-back, go straight in against Inter Milan and Man City. Looks right at home straight away. What is in the water over there?
Serious calcium, isn't it? Serious
That's
calcium.
milk, I think.
We've got milk in our water. That's what it is. They've got great bones and great muscles and great agility.
So some of that Southampton water. It's good stuff. Oh, that's good stuff, that. I recommend it. What a show. I drank that way too quickly.
Absolutely.
You were jazzing, were you? Jazzing all over the place.
All over Turf Moor. In fact, there must be a record. I could smell something. There must be a song title in there. Must be jazzing all over the world. There's got to be, hasn't there? Oh, God.
To this, I've got a surprise for these Bailey fans. I've kidnapped someone.
Oh, what's this? What's this?
Hey, I've got his brother here, isn't it? What are you doing, nicking his twin?
I've got 30p. I've took him hostage. You're not having him back.
Did you score in the middle of the week?
Me personally, I did. Leighton Orient did. Not in the League Cup. We went out in the first round, I think.
David. I mean, I'm glad it's after Watershed. You're showing us an awful lot of skin there, David.
I really swore that you can write this many pages about Palace.
I know.
After the controversial and fallout of the Bristol game, the small away following were eagerly awaiting the chance to get back into action.
I think we can win tomorrow.
Good. Where's my book? I'll give it. He's taken his book. You taken your book?
That's right behind you, right there.
Okay. I'm going to give you this book to read while I talk about
He had promised his wife that he wouldn't get drunk because he was looking after their 8-year-old son Max. So he had a couple of Coronas. What's this about?
Sam's mum. Sam's great. I'm sorry for bullying him. It's just the handshake. It just started from the handshake.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We're talking a lot about Fulham because we've never had a Fulham fan on the sofa.
You forgot to say they're 3-0 up by half time as well.
I didn't forget. I just didn't care.
You and me. Come on, touch me. Welcome back. So, Toby Tarrant was here last Thursday, keeping my seat warm for me, but I'm well and truly back. Thank you. Some people have been starting to call this show Toby TV, but I'm telling you now, it's not happening. I'm not sure who he's been bribing or blackmailing, but I'm here to stay. Tarrant out! Tarrant out! Tarrant out! Watch out, Tarrant, I'm gunning for you. And as if to prove a point, I've got an unbelievable lineup here on the lime green sofa tonight. In just 2 shakes of a donkey's tail, my best mate, the Ginger Ninja, will stealthily creep onto the sofa. Ginger Luke will be here alongside our Tottenham fan, Gary. Yes, baby. Then at 7:45, I'll be reviewing the Tottenham match against Leicester at the weekend with Spurs fan Freddie Morris and Leicester supporter Scott Davis. No fighting, lads. At 8 o'clock, it's time for United stand. Mark Goldbridge will appear in the magic box on the wall behind me with his Manchester United roundup. And then, at about 8:15, it's back to Chelsea with Stephen and Craig. We've got so many people on the lime green sofa tonight, I'm struggling to keep up. At 9 o'clock, we're off to a rather chilly-looking Costa Brava for our usual Premier League roundup with the legend that is Chris Darwin. And then, rounding out the show, we've got grassroots boys Stuart and Simon taking us all the way through to 10 o'clock. That's what's coming up. Let's get some fans out here. Please put your hands together for friends of the show. Ginger Luke, our Villa fan, and lovely Gary Grant, our Tottenham fan. Come on, you lovely boy. I love you, baby. Ginger Luke, I love you. I love you so much. Gary, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you, dude. Welcome back to the lime green sofa. Give him a big hand, everybody. Oh, my goodness me. It's going to be a top show tonight, Luke.
First of all, I couldn't find any fudgy pretzel squares, but that's for you.
Oh, you're kidding me.
So awesome.
I love you, Ginger Luke. Oh, my goodness me. The next best thing to a fudgy pretzel square, it appears to be
a chocolate brownie.
Come on, let's hear it for the brownies.
It's fresh.
Fresh
and a
brownies.
lovely piece of memorabilia
Oh,
to remember.
Look at that. Can that go on the shelf?
Of course it can. It's
Look
here to
at
stay.
this. It's an AVFC mug from Ginger Luke. Thank you, brother. I love you with all my heart. Gaz, have you brought anything for me?
Just myself.
Unbelievable.
Just myself.
Unbelievable.
I brought my fan base with me tonight.
Unbelievable. He has got a fan base, though. He's got a fan base with him. We've got so many people on the subs bench tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah, lots of fans, lots to talk about. Ginger Luke, are you happy with your new manager, Steve Bruce?
There's only one Steve Bruce here. There's only one way to go. We dropped off Di Matteo and we've brought back Potato Head.
Okay, very nice, and you've got back Potato Head. He's doing the job already for you.
He's doing the business. He's definitely doing the business. There was a bit of controversy when we played Wolves at home. I sent in a video a couple of weeks through the email, but I'm not sure if they're going to show it. But there was a lot of controversy when Steve Bruce first came to the club because he was ex-Blues. But it wasn't like when Gerard Houllier left, ex-manager, Alex McLeish came straight from Birmingham, straight to Villa. It wasn't like that. Yeah. He's come in a couple of years after he's left Birmingham. It's history. I know a couple of Villa fans don't like Steve Bruce, but we've got to get over that.
Generally speaking, though, Luke, are Villa fans giving Steve Bruce the benefit of the doubt?
Yes and no.
Yes,
yes and no.
Talk to us about the no. They can't get over the hurdle.
They can't seem to get over the hurt. He was at Birmingham. If I go back to the Wolves game previous at home when we drawed 1-1, there's a YouTube channel that I do a few videos for. If you want to go and follow them, it's called @TheVillaView_.
At the Villa View, we've got a break coming up. Sorry, this show is going to fly by tonight. Don't go anywhere. We're live on Sky 212. It's Fan TV all the way till 10 p.m. Touch me with an explosion. Love it. Oh, that was quick, wasn't it? So now they're doing jammy flapjacks. No. It's a game changer. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 p.m. tonight. If you're watching on the YouTube or the Facebook Live, don't forget to refresh at the top of every hour because we don't want to lose you. Get in touch with us. Skype us. Fan TV channel is the Skype. Join in at fantv.me is the email. Or if you'd rather tweet, the Twitter handle is @FanTVUK. And on that note, why don't we launch tonight's first Twitter poll? Here's the question for you. It'll be up on a big screen as well, so I can read it. Here's the question. Premier League goal of the weekend. No, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, is it? Oh, so people are already voting on it already. My goodness me, I'm so sorry. 40% of you so far have gone for Costa for goal of the weekend. 10% Aguero. 40% also Ramirez, tying with Costa. And 10% for Firmino.
Have we got a rerun of the goals?
No, we don't have any footage, unfortunately, Gary. Although I will paint you a picture.
Paint me the picture.
With my
paint
words.
us a picture.
Yeah, I'll paint you a beautiful picture with my words. Or you could reenact your favourite goal from the weekend if you so wish.
I ain't seen none of them.
What was that, mate?
I haven't seen any of them.
I haven't seen any of
So
the
I
goals.
It has to be Aguero.
What would you go for?
It has to be Aguero. After look, where you hit
Aguero.
that ball
I'll
in the
go
back
for
of the net
Aguero.
against Albion. I've been out on a Saturday night and I've had kebabs hit me hard in the stomach the way Aguero hit that ball on Saturday.
Okay, so you're going to Aguero. Shouts for Costa from the floor. One for Firmino. Gary, you haven't seen any of the goals. Do you actually watch football? What's going on?
Well, I do. I watch the Spurs, don't I?
You
That's
do
what I
watch
need
the
to watch.
Spurs. We will be talking Spurs. That's not football. Someone said on the floor to Gary's.
Got to be a Chelsea fan, innit?
It's got to be a Chelsea.
One
Is
of
it a Chelsea fan?
Is it?
I tell you what, it's going to be a wild show. I'm loving it already. That's the first poll, the first of 3 tonight. If you want to register your vote, then at FanTV UK is the Twitter poll. If you don't have the newfangled Twitter system and you want to go old school and you want to register your opinion, then join in at fantv.me is, of course, the email. Gary, let's talk Spurs.
Let's talk Spurs.
Okay, it's 5 games without a win in all competitions. What's happening?
Wow, it is. I mean, like unbeaten, but everything's been drawing, isn't it? Everything's a draw.
You're currently 5th. As you've just mentioned, you are the only team still to be defeated. 20 points.
We're only 3 points off the top, though, aren't we?
True enough.
So there's nothing to panic about at the moment.
Panic stations, no, you're quite right. But your 3rd draw in a row, and you've got Arsenal, of course, next weekend. How do you feel about that?
Well,
yes.
Well, to be honest, I didn't even know it come up that quick, that fixture. You know, we don't really worry about too much about Arsenal. You know, it's just another fixture, just another fixture, another game.
You failed to win since outclassing Manchester City at the beginning of October.
Yeah.
Does that trouble you in any way, shape, or form? You are only you're currently 5th. You're only 3 points off the top. But are you troubled by that statistic?
No, not really. I mean, the thing is this now. Come this side of the weekend, we could be up there. I mean, we're 3 points off the top, aren't we, at the moment? So come the other side of the weekend, we could end up joint top. You know, I mean, at the minute, I think there's only 3 points that separate the top 5, 6.
Yeah, top 5.
That's right.
Top 6 sides.
Top 6, yeah.
You know,
it's tight at the top, as they say. It's tight at the top.
I mean, Chelsea now, what a difference 3 points make. They're all crowing now from the tree tops, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, but again, I'd say with we beat Manchester City, was a great result. We are struggling to score goals. You know, Son was scoring quite a few goals, wasn't he?
If you agree, a couple of weeks,
yeah, but he's dried up.
He's dried up as well.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Harry to come back. I don't think he'll make the game the weekend.
Well, on Harry Kane, of course, who's been out for some time now with injury, they're saying it's a 50% chance of Kane returning against Bayer Leverkusen at Wembley tomorrow night, your Champions League Group E
He's back in training, full training now.
Yes. A better chance, we're hearing, of being involved in the trip to Arsenal next Sunday. You need him to be fit as soon as possible, don't you?
Well, with Janssen now, he's struggled to find any sort of form at the moment.
Harry Kane has struggled to find form at the minute. You know, it's your big game next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's that month now, November, when Arsenal suddenly come crashing down. They always lose a couple of games.
Well, history tells you that, doesn't it? So you'd like to think so, but they could end up stopping our unbeaten run. You know, that could happen. But I say, going back to with Janssen, I mean, the 3 goals he's got all been penalties. I mean, the boy can take a penalty, can't he?
Yes. Filling the role of
no, there's nothing.
He's not filling his boots.
No, it's nothing. He hasn't scored from open play, you know. But that could all change. Could all change the weekend. He only has to stick a 1 or 2 in or the winning goal against Arsenal, and then he's a hero again. That's how fickle football is, isn't it?
Ginger Luke, do you not think the trouble for Tottenham, though, is that it would appear up front they are waiting on one man, Harry Kane, to make a difference for them?
They're too busy relying on one striker, and they're missing that strike at the minute, Harry Kane. They're really missing. They're too busy relying on that forward. They need to start paying 2 up front. You've been paying 1 up front.
We need that fox in the box. I mean, we're strong through the back 4 now. I mean, we've struggled for years with a defensive line, but now we've got that. We've got that good midfield that's solid now. We've got that grittiness about them. We don't let teams bully us now.
Yeah.
But we need that player. I mean, that type of striker that can split the defences. We only had them passes from the midfield that actually split the defence. You know, the nice little through balls there for a player to run onto. Yeah. Something like a Defoe. I mean, Defoe. God, I'd go and get him back in January. Get him back here.
We've talked on this show on more than one occasion about Tottenham having strength and depth in the side, Gary, but that doesn't appear appear to be the case when it comes to up front. That's somewhere where you're decidedly lacking at the moment.
Well, that's what I think we need. As I said, going back, we need that little fox in the box and pick up the scraps. You know, that little gritty player that gets the ugly goals. You know, and
someone that's not afraid to go down and get injured, get back up.
Yeah, so someone like that. You know, that as I say, like Defoe, he's still only got 33, 34.
Yeah.
And I'd like if
I'd have
him back here. Yeah, I'd have him back here in January.
At 33, 34, you would take
Defoe
back.
Clinical striker.
All day long.
Clinical.
All day long.
Really?
Is that 34?
Give him half a game, bring him second half every game.
Yeah.
Last 20, 25 minutes of a game, he's a game changer. He can get you them crucial goals.
Would you have him at Villa, Luke?
If we come back up, I'd like to have him up if we can get promoted at the end of the season, but I'm sure he's not going to stay at Sunderland much longer because they're going to be dropping this season.
Do you think that's a
that's a dead cert? That's a dead cert.
You think David Moyes will take Sunderland down?
I don't think he will, because I don't think he'll be there.
I don't think he'll be there come January. It's a sinking ship. Like, people called us the worst Premier League side ever, and now Sunderland are living up to the reputation.
So who do you think will replace him, and how much longer do you think David Moyes has got?
Who's out there? Who's going to want to take the job?
Who'd want to take
that job at the minute?
Yeah. Well, just a poison chalice, do you think?
It's a sinking ship.
Sinking ship, says Ginger Luke, or Aston Villa fan. If you're a Sunderland fan, I'd love to hear your response to those comments. Fan TV channel is the Skype. Get in touch, Sunderland. Email us, join in at fantv.me. Tweet us at FanTVUK. How much longer has David Moyes got in the role of Sunderland manager? Ginger Luke thinks that Sunderland are a certainty now for the drop. Do you think the only thing that could save them, it's so early in the season, is to get rid of David Moyes as quickly as possible and replace him, Ginger Luke?
But who's out there to replace him? Who's going to want to come in? That's what you've got to look at. There's not many people out there at the minute who are available.
It's another good question. So all you Sunderland fans, if they do get rid of David Moyes, who would you choose to replace him? Get in touch at FanTV UK. Back to Harry Kane briefly, Gar. You're saying he's back to full training.
Yeah, he's back in full training now.
So what do you think the likelihood is of him playing tomorrow night, or do you think Poch will save him?
I don't think he'll play tomorrow night.
I don't reckon he'll play tomorrow.
And I don't think he'll play Sunday. He definitely won't start Sunday. I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised. I mean, I'll be surprised if he starts Sunday. Maybe second half or something like that. But I don't think he'll play Sunday.
What's the bigger game for you? Is the Leverkusen game bigger tomorrow night at Wembley, Champions League?
Yeah.
Or the Arsenal match?
I think that's the bigger game. For me, that's the bigger game because it's a big. But the thing is, we need to get through that Champions League group. So we need another win in that group now to get through. If whatever
the first two games,
but whatever the outcome is on Sunday, you still got another 20 odd games to got another 20 odd games to rectify that.
But would you rather lose to Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League?
The pressure.
Or
you can't say that.
Would you rather lose to Bayer Leverkusen and beat Arsenal next weekend, or lose to Arsenal and beat Leverkusen? I know, it's a tough one.
Wow, what a question. What a question.
I know. First hour of the show, I drop a question like that.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. Would you rather...
Do I have to answer that about my solicitor present?
Yes, you have to answer. You have to answer. Would you rather beat Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League and lose to Arsenal, or...
We can't lose to the Arsenal.
Would you take a draw?
I'll take a draw at the Arsenal and beat
have them back at your place.
Okay, Tottenham fans watching at home right now, would you rather lose to Bayer Leverkusen and beat Arsenal, or lose to Arsenal and beat Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League at Wembley tomorrow night? Just to be clear, Gary, before I get to the celebrity wash bag, which I've kleptoed, let's just make clear your position. Which would you rather?
I'd rather both win-win, but I can't.
It's not an option.
We've just said that's not an option, that is. It's one or the other.
Is your bot getting sourced on that fence?
I'll never hear the last of it, no.
Is that a splinter in your left cheek?
Beat Arsenal and Can I take a draw against?
No,
Leicester?
you can't. It's not
lose against
Take it
Bayer and beat
seriously. It's not an
Arsenal.
option.
Right, beat Arsenal and lose against Bayer Leverkusen. As long as we go through.
Right, there we go. He'd rather beat Arsenal and lose to Bayer Leverkusen. If you're a Spurs fan, which would you rather? Get in touch. I'm a dirty klepto. We all know this by now. You know what I'm like, Luke?
Everyone knows it by now.
I'll steal anything, me. I can't help myself. Once again, I've kleptoed a wash bag belonging to a famous footballer through a process of clues, which I will reveal throughout this evening's show. I encourage you to get in touch and let me know whose wash bag I've kleptoed. Do you know what I'm like, Arta? I can't help myself. Clue number 1 is this pot noodle. Yes, it's a difficult one, this. It's a pot noodle. It's a pot noodle. That's not the clue. That has nothing to do with it. That's just me. That's just me. It's a pot noodle. Clue number 1, a pot noodle. If you think you know whose wash bag I've kleptoed whilst being high as a kite, then get in touch. Fan TV channel is the Skype at Fan TV UK. Is the is the Twitter. The email is join in at fantv.me. Hashtag celebrity wash bag. Don't go anywhere if you're on the Facebook Live or the YouTube. Please remember to refresh at the top of every hour. We don't want to lose you. We're live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 p.m. tonight. It's Fan TV. It's your show. Back into good times. I know. I was crouched in the bath. It was coming out of both ends. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 o'clock tonight. If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, hopefully you've refreshed. I've got friends of the show, the Ginger Ninja, Ginger Luke, our AVFC fan on the lime green, and the lovely Gary Grant, our Spurs fan. Yes. Yes. Warming their bot-bots on our lime green sofa of footballing love. Yes. Here's what's still to come on tonight's show. My best buddy Ginger Luke is chilling on the lime green with Tottenham man Gary. Then at 7:45 there's more Spurs as we review their match against Leicester at the weekend with Freddie Morris and Leicester supporter Scott Davis. Boom! At 8 o'clock it's time for United Stand. Mark Goldbridge will appear in the magic box on the wall behind me with his Manchester United roundup. And then at about 8:15 it's back to Chelsea with Stephen and Craig. At 9 o'clock we're off to a rather chilly-looking Costa Brava for our usual Premier League roundup with Chris Darwin. And then, rounding out the show, we've got grassroots boys Stuart and Simon taking us all the way through till 10 o'clock this evening. That's what's coming up on the show tonight. Get involved. Fan TV channel is the Skype, at Fan TV UK is the Twitter. Join in at fantv.me is the email. Now it's time for our football fancast with our 5 things you learn about football from the weekend. Have a look at this.
Welcome to Football Fancast, ladies and gents, and 5 things we learned from a weekend which revealed a little bit more about 5 big Premier League title contenders. We start off with thing number 1, Chelsea, who once again pulled off the impressive feat of making David Luiz look extremely competent during their win over in-form Southampton. It was the Blues' 4th league win in a row, the 4th game without conceding, and by no coincidence, the 4th game in which they switched to a back 3. Diego Costa is the league's leading scorer. Victor Moses is a new man, and Eden Hazard was fouled about 400 times, which means he's back to his best. Thing number 2, we learned there are only 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and Sergio Aguero scoring against West Brom. Manchester City got back to winning ways and retained top spot with a 4-0 win at the Hawthorns, during which Aguero made it 7 in 9 against the Bangies. The clear highlight of the game, though, was the West Brom supporters singing, "We got the ball, we got the ball," when they had possession, and then switching to, "We've lost the ball, we've lost the ball," when they lost it. And for the record, they sung the second one about twice as much. Thing number 3, Arsenal stayed off their annual crisis for another week with an excellent win over a not-so-excellent Sunderland side. Alexis Sanchez was the star of the show and he bagged his 50th goal for the club, but to be fair, the Black Cats didn't offer very much at all. They've only got 2 points, making the joint worst start to a season since Manchester City in 1995, which is weird because I thought Man City were founded in 2008. Anyway, thing number 4, Liverpool's title prospects are looking very bright, almost as bright as Roberto Firmino's teeth. Almost. The Reds had a very unhappy 6-goal thriller at Selhurst Park a few seasons ago. Remember that one? But the 6 goals went mostly in their favour over the weekend. Once again, Philippe Coutinho was their star man, and they're very entertaining right now. But for a real shot at the title, they have to stop leaking goals so often. Only once have they kept a clean sheet this season. And finally, thing 5, Manchester United's title aspirations took a huge beating on Saturday as they failed to score against Burnley at home for the first time since 1921. Zlatan was only a little boy back then. At this rate, the Red Devils are going to be lucky to be playing Thursday night football next season. Maybe Jose Mourinho has the experience and the expertise to turn the club around, or maybe he won't be living the Alan Partridge dream in that Manchester hotel for very much longer. He seems particularly disgruntled at the moment, and not just because he doesn't have a 12-inch dinner plate for the buffet. All right, that's it for now. Give us your thoughts on the weekend and the Premier League title race at Football Fancast on Twitter. Thanks so much for watching. Love to you, mothers. See you next time.
Thank you to our friends at the Football Fancast. There'll be another 5 things we learned from football on next week's show. Thanks a lot. Gary, back to you and some more Tottenham chat. 3rd draw in the Premier League in a row. The best defence in England. That's a statistical fact at the moment. You actually conceded from open play for the very first time. Yeah. First time in 10 matches. The 10 games you played this season, it was your first goal conceded from open play. So defensively, you're doing the job. The problems, it would seem, as we mentioned earlier, lie up front.
It's up front.
Poch said, we need to be more clinical. Why aren't you?
I think say that clinical, I mean, that clinical, yeah, but ruthless as well.
Yeah.
You know, and it's... Again, it's struggle. We seem to hold the ball up really well. We do a lot in and around the 18-yard box, and in the final third, we're just struggling there to find that little through ball, the shots on target. I mean, Dele Alli hasn't been doing a hell of a lot the last couple of games.
Yeah.
You know.
Gary's another stat for you.
Ericsson as well.
Tottenham have attempted more shots than any other side in the Premiership. More shots attempted than any other side. Just can't get in the net.
How many on target?
Okay, I've got that stat for you actually because I wrote it down earlier. Okay. In the past 3 Premier League games alone, Tottenham have tried 58 shots.
Yeah.
58 shots in 3 games. 17 of those 58 shots have been on target.
Yeah.
Only 2 goals. Terrible on the floor, terrible.
Yeah.
How can you defend that record?
Well, it's hard to defend against, isn't it? Really. I mean, you want to get your shots away. You want to encourage the shots. But actually, I think that shot. I mean, are they outside the box? These shots as well.
Come on, give me a break. Michael, what is this?
Are these from goal kicks and corners?
58 shots, 17 on target.
No,
only 2
look,
goals.
at the end of the day, we need to be more clinical, more ruthless. We need to put that ball in the back of the net. With a conversion rate, we need to convert more goals in that ratio.
Has Kane's absence changed the way you play? Is that part of the problem?
Yeah, I think slightly.
You've got a bit more freedom.
Yeah, I mean,
you seem to start performing better.
Yeah,
when Kane got injured.
with Harry, I mean, he's pretty good all round. He's not the quickest, but he moves to play quickly. He just gets it down, brings people into play. We have a lot more crosses coming in with Harry because he's good with his head.
Yeah.
As well. He's more of an aerial threat than I'd say Janssen. I mean, Janssen, his ball's played up to him, he can hold it up well and set it back, but there's not a lot. He's not working that back 4 as much as he should, as we should be.
Sure.
You know.
Okay, let's go back to Villa Birmingham. Before the match, Ginger Luke, would you have settled for a point? Would you have been happy with a point?
I would have been happy with either. Literally, it wasn't even just the game itself, it was just the whole build-up to the game through the week. I spoke to Toby on the Thursday night, and I still stick to it now. The second City derby is bigger than Man U and Man City. I don't care what people say.
He doesn't care. Bigger than Manchester United, Manchester City.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's more of an atmosphere to it, you know what I mean? It's not, you know what I mean? You go to Birmingham, Villa, you don't get the Chinese like you do at Man U, Man City. It's like it's really quiet Old Trafford when you go to Man U, Man City. Not when you go to Birmingham, Villa. It's non-stop pounding and singing.
Paint us a picture, non-stop pounding and singing. I mean, what was it like?
It was beautiful.
Was it?
I mean, I've never experienced anything like it. When we played them at ours in the Cup last season, you know, it was a great atmosphere, but it was just the whole build-up towards the game.
What's Villa's most favourite song?
I can't really say it because I'd have to keep it clean, would I?
Keep it clean. Can you supplement a word for another word? What would it be?
Rubbish.
The word rubbish?
The word rubbish.
Okay, let's hear it.
My old man to be a Rubbish City fan. And I said, I'm not going to say that, but you get the drift, don't you?
I get the drift, That's quality as well, Ginger. Thank you very much indeed.
That's actually a Cockney song, isn't it?
Is it? If you want to, you know what I mean? I'm all open to new songs, you know what I mean?
Okay. What's your favourite Tottenham fan? Keep it clean, Gareth.
Our favourite
Yeah, keep it clean, keep it clean.
It's always about the Arsenal, isn't it?
Clean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always...
obsessed with the Arsenal. Obsessed with the Arsenal.
I did hear one, we hear quite a lot. It's when I was just a little boy, my father bought me a little toy, an Arsenal fan on a string, and he told me to...
you know what?
Head in.
No idea. Little boy string, I've got no idea. Unbeaten in the last 4 games, Ginger Luke, is the Steve Bruce effect.
It's the Steve Bruce way, isn't it? 4 games unbeaten. We've got Blackburn Saturday. It's got to be a win in my opinion. After
Luke, what does he do? What does he do, Steve Bruce? He clearly has some kind of formula.
He's clearly had some effect on the players that Di Matteo didn't have at the start of the season. We seem to be more confident defending, more confident going forward, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we go into Sunday's game, apologies for that. It was a great weekend. I can't remember half of it. I had a bit of a boisterous party this Saturday night.
Did you? You had a boisterous party?
Can we get that trending again?
Hashtag boisterous party. What did your boisterous party involve, Ginger Luke?
Couple of mates, couple of beers, just celebrating tomorrow's game. But obviously we didn't win.
Chocolate brownies.
No winning.
Chocolate brownies. Couple of beers, couple of mates, chocolate brownies.
Yeah. It wasn't the result of it.
How many chocolate brownies did you have?
I can't remember. It was a great night.
He can't remember. He stuffed his face so full of chocolate brownies.
Saturday's chocolate brownies.
It wasn't the best result for Villa, you know what I mean? It was a draw, but...
Yes.
Are you going to go up, Luke?
If you snatch my end off for 6th place now in the playoffs, I'd take it. I'd take a nice day out at Wembley again.
Yeah.
You think possibly you could snatch 6, go up through the playoffs?
Yeah,
under Steve Bruce. Standout players. We've got about 2 minutes left on this section of the show.
It has to be the one and only Nathan Baker. Once again, I know Gary Gardner got the goal and scored for us, but it has to be Nathan Baker. He was at Bristol City last season. Yeah. He was unbelievable Sunday in the air, winning everything in the air. It wasn't the possible outcome of the result we would have liked. It was a draw. I mean, if we go back to the start of the game, it took us a long time to settle into it. It took us a good 15 minutes just to get settled into the game. And once we got settled, we kept the ball, we passed it around nice. And when did Gary Gardner start scoring headers? I want to know that.
Well, Gary Gardner, your goal scorer, of course, said Steve Bruce makes Villa feel unbeatable.
We look unbeatable at the minute, don't we?
Do you think so?
Why would you want to bet against us?
He's come in and he's sprinkled a little bit of a magic fairy dust there, Steve Bruce.
Definitely.
I think he'll be tested for that later, though.
Jedinak and Baker, you mentioned also, they look revitalised under Steve Bruce. Another example of an increasing confidence there that Bruce seems to have brought into the side.
Something's changed and we don't know what it is. It's like I said on the Lime Green about a month back when we was on here with Daniel and the other, I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, I apologise, for the Newcastle fan. When we so much was hidden from the Villa fans at the training and we didn't have much access to Bodymore Heath, and it seems like we've got that now. The only way I see it is onwards and upwards from here. It wasn't the best result Sunday. We didn't play brilliant. We seemed to step off second half and sit back, and they got an equaliser, but I'm sure both sides would have been happy with the point, because the way I see it, it's a point gained on Norwich as they lost the weekend.
Luke, 10 seconds, so really quick. In general, what are the fans' expectations now under Steve Bruce? Less than 10 seconds, really quick.
Top 10 at least, but for me, it's got to be playoffs.
OK, we've got to take a break. We've got to say goodbye to Gary and Luke. Give them a big hand, everybody. Back in 2 with Fan TV. Good times. Thank you. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212, Facebook Live and YouTube, of course. If you're watching on the Facebook Live or the YouTube, don't forget to refresh at the top of every hour. We don't want to lose you. We're live all the way till 10 p.m. tonight, as we are Tuesday through Saturday, 4 till 7 on Saturdays. Get in touch. Fan TV channel is the Skype. Join in at fantv.me is the email, and that old Twitter thing is at FanTVUK. We've got a poll up and running. If you haven't voted on our first poll of the evening, go to at FanTVUK and vote on our poll. I'm hearing it's very, very close at the moment. I've kleptoed a wash bag. Whose wash bag is it? The first clue out of the bag tonight was a pot noodle. Pot noodle. So if you think you know whose bag I've stolen, get in touch. So Skype in or email or Twitter at FanTVUK. Let's introduce our next guests onto the lime green sofa. Please welcome our Spurs fan Freddie and our Leicester fan Scott. Come on onto the floor, guys. Freddie, how you doing, baby? Lovely to meet you, Freddie. Scott, a pleasure to meet you. Let's start in with Leicester. You managed to get yourself a draw at the weekend.
An away point.
An away point, your first away point, Scott, of the season. How do you feel about it? Positive?
Yeah, the point's a bit of a bonus, to be fair. Obviously, we've not been great on the road at the minute. We just wanted to see a good away performance. We've been okay at home. Champions League's been fantastic.
Yeah.
But away, we've not really had the performances. So first and foremost, it was about getting that performance.
2 points dropped for you, Freddie?
I think so, yeah. Third game in a row that we'd consider that we've dropped two easily sort of winnable points at home again. So, yeah, a bit frustrating at the moment.
First goal conceded, of course, as I mentioned with Gary earlier, from open play this season so far. So defensively, you're doing brilliant, but you can't seem to score.
Yeah, I think we kind of seem to be a bit polar opposites to Liverpool at the moment. We're both kind of going for the league and they can't stop scoring but can't keep clean sheets, whereas we're the other way around, you know. So it's a bit of an odd one.
Yeah. Arsenal are about to kick off and we've got our first Skype caller of this evening. It's Arsenal fan James. I think it's our David Brent lookalike. It is! I think you'll agree it's uncanny. How you doing, Brenty?
I'm very good, how are you?
All the better for speaking to you, lovely man. If I could have Brenty's voice turned up on the floor. He's very quiet. Brenty, give us the rundown of Arsenal tonight. You're playing Ludogorets. Any surprises in the lineup?
Yeah, Aaron Ramsey's at the moment, he's chucked out on the wing. Carl Jenkinson's playing right back because Bellerin, I think he's got an illness. One sec. Bit of a
If we could get James turned up on the floor because I'm struggling to hear him. Sorry, James, you're very quiet on our end. We're going to try and do something about your volume control. Carry on, brother. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
Perfect.
I just said here, Bellerin's not been taken. I think he's got illness or an injury of some kind. So Carl Jenkinson's playing right back. This is a bit of a rush in back into the Champions League for him. You know, he's come back from injury, I think a week or so ago. Ramsey's playing out wide because he's been dropped to the bench, which, to be fair, he's played so many games recently. And big beautiful Ollie G's up front, so it's all good.
Listen, you're on fire at the moment. Everyone knows that. James, do you think it's going to be another win for you tonight?
I hope so. You know, we're only a couple of minutes in. We're looking quite solid. But these guys, you know, people underestimate these Ludogorets. They're very quick on the counter. And, you know, Jenkinson's not as fast as Bellerin is at shutting that down. But I think the defence looks solid and hopefully we can sort some stuff out, get some goals and qualify at the end of the night.
OK, James, will you Skype in again later on with a match report?
Of course, we'll do.
Love you,
Take
baby.
care, guys. You have a nice. All the best.
OK, speak to you later on, James. Fan TV channel is the Skype. James will Skype us in again later on for a match update. Let's take a look at the games so far this evening in the Champions League. Hang on a minute, it's full-time Besiktas versus Napoli. That was a 1-1 draw. We've got a lot of draws actually so far, and I'm so useless on these. Honestly, I'm a total technophobe. I'm a nightmare. So it's 0-0, as James said so far. Ludogorets Razgrad against Arsenal. Manchester City 0-0, Barcelona, that's the latest. PSV versus FC Bayern München. That's still 0-0, that's the latest. And I think... I don't know, what's this is playing up, this what's this thing called? An iPad, thanks very much. We'll get to some more scoreline updates. I'm such a technophobe. 2 minutes rather into the games so far tonight, and they're currently all draws. Scott, let's go back to you. Ranieri, was he praising his players after your draw against Spurs? Does he see this as maybe a corner turned?
Yeah, he, I mean... It's questionable whether he actually took our initial away games seriously to an extent.
Yeah.
We've had, you know, Chelsea, Man U, Liverpool all away. For us, probably bonus games, you know, away from home, not expected to win. So we actually rested a couple of players.
Sure.
However, the performance he would expect from the players coming in wasn't there. So he was a little bit angry and he kind of said that. he was confused as to why. Champions League, we're doing brilliant.
Yeah.
Premier League, we weren't doing so great. So yeah, he has praised the players and said that is what we want. You know, we played more to our capabilities of last season. We played without the ball, didn't have as much possession, but hit on the counter-attack, and that's how we got the goal.
Musa has scored in back-to-back Premier League games now after failing to score for you in his first 5 league games of the season. Is he good enough for the Premiership, do you think, hand on heart? Or is he another Pogba? He'll only turn up for 1 in 4. Thank you. Thanks very much.
At first glance, I was worrying he was another sort of Adi Akinbaye. You know, we paid a lot of money for this player that's made a...
From Bristol City, of course.
Yeah. We bought him from Wolves a few years ago, and he was our transfer record signing for a long, long time. So Musa's come in for 16, 17 million. I think the weight of expectation from the Leicester fans might be a little bit too much to expect him to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So jury's still out for me to an extent, but he's certainly going a long way to put to bed any concerns that some people might have.
And Vardy, why isn't he scoring? What on earth has happened to Jamie Vardy?
Again, it's not all about the goals. He's playing okay, to be fair. He set up the goal against Spurs on Saturday.
Yeah.
I think it's a case of he's not been worked out as such, but he's that name now that people try and mark out the game. Mahrez is another one. But then, as a result of that, I think we might see other players scoring, such as Musa, such as some of the midfielders popping in with a few goals.
Yeah.
You know, Christian Fuchs got his first goal last week. It's been on the cards for a long time, but I think without Mahrez and Vardy scoring, other players are going to have a chance.
Leicester never came under any intense pressure from Spurs the entire match, did they? Intense pressure?
Not really. We rode our luck at times. They hit the woodwork twice, they hit the bar twice. But if you look at the way they hit the woodwork, I wouldn't say there were clear goal-scoring opportunities. There were, chances that on another day could have gone in.
Yeah.
But we looked fairly comfortable, to be fair. Out of all the away games we've had, I was probably more worried about this than the ones we have played.
Were you really?
Yeah, because Spurs are unbeaten.
Yeah.
They're a good side. They've built on from last season. I was a little bit disappointed with Ali in the midfield. I thought he was a little bit lightweight and went down a bit too easily. The ref wasn't great, but Spurs are a good side. There's no doubt about it. They're going to be up there.
You think they'll be up there? But do you think they're based on the last 3 games? They can't get a win, 3 draws in a row. They drew against you at the weekend. And having watched that match, do you think honestly Spurs are good enough to actually win the title this season?
Win the title, probably not. I think the others have built by spending a lot more money.
Yeah.
Spurs had an opportunity to go out and not replace Kane, obviously, but back Kane up.
Yeah.
Who's going to sit second fiddle on the bench behind Kane when he's fit? Because that's how they set up. Kane's the main man. So I can understand as to why they went for Janssen in that sense. Maybe missed an opportunity with someone like Benteke going to Palace. I think he'd have been a great player for Spurs.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's a slow project with Spurs. I don't think...
You can come in on this, Freddie, at any time.
I was just waiting for this, I'm just building up the ammunition here.
I don't expect Spurs to go and win it this season, but I think they are going to build slowly over the next couple of years.
Well, I think, if you've seen a lot recently, there's probably 5 or 6 clubs who would consider that they could win the league this year.
Yeah.
Now, Manchester City, at the start of the season, Pep was the Messiah. It was all done and dusted by not even October. All of a sudden, he doesn't win in a few games and they're going to get relegated. Now, Spurs perhaps have had a little bit of, I wouldn't even go as far to say a wobble, but, the flying form at the start of the season's kind of stalled a bit for various reasons, perhaps, but we still haven't lost. And we've still been playing well and having 1,000 shots, but only getting 2 on target, whatever it was you were saying a minute ago. So I think this season more so than ever, there's going to be patches where teams are going to hit form and they're not. And if you look, I think the top 3 teams are all tied on points. So I think if we can stick in there, there's going to be periods where, for 3 or 4 games, we're not going to be at our most fluid.
Well, it's fair to say, Freddie, that you're certainly doing better than Leicester at the moment, of course, the current champions. I mean, one-hit wonders, that's fair to say, isn't it?
Maybe, but what people don't understand is we don't care. Never in a million years did we expect to ever win it. So to win it once is fantastic. Champions League, we're obviously making the most of that. Ranieri wants to get through the group stages. That's where the money is this year for us. I think we're okay enough to not worry about the Premier League. I don't want to start losing away games again. Now we've got that point and stop the rot.
Sure.
We need to build on that.
I want to quickly ask this question to Freddie, and I might get your response after the break, Stu. Freddie, if you're Jamie Vardy, right,
Yeah.
would you not quietly, to yourself and perhaps to your nearest and dearest, currently be ruining your decision not to leave Leicester and go to Arsenal?
I don't know. I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? I'm sure he weighed up all the factors when he had that option. If it was me at the time, yeah, you're thinking his age, what's happened with him. It's probably the last big move he could make.
Yeah.
So but you don't know what he's got going on in his life. If he genuinely thinks he can push on for more things at Leicester, maybe he did.
Okay, other side of the break, Stu, I'll get your answer on that question as well. Let's just wrap up the first poll of the evening. Let's remind you of the question and see the results. The question was, Premier League goal of the weekend, nice and simple to kick us off. 33% of you said Costa, 23% said Aguero, 27% Ramirez, 70% Firmino. Lots of disagreement on the floor for Costa. Less than a minute, Stu, did you agree or disagree? Who would you have gone for?
I've not seen the other. I've seen Costa's.
Unbelievable. No one watches football. No one watches. It's only me.
I've seen Firmino's. Firmino's very good. A little chip over the goalie, wasn't it?
Yes.
I thought that was good. Yeah, I'd probably say Costa.
The floor, you do think Costa. Who said Costa? Disagreement on the floor. Freddie?
I'll go for, it's not actually up there, but Janssen's penalty, I think.
Oh, what? Jan, you can't. That's unbelievable.
It was quality.
Janssen's
Underrated.
quality 44th minute penalty.
Yeah, exactly.
He can only score from penalties now. That's the problem with Janssen.
Well, we were right then. A lot of people can't.
Well, that's true enough. Aguero certainly struggles in that department. We're going to take another short break. We'll be back with Freddie and Stu on the lime green sofa in just 2 short minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's Fan TV. We're live on Sky 212. Good times. I love it. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 p.m. tonight, as we are every Tuesday through Saturday, 4 till 7 on Saturday. Remember, it's your show. You dictate whatever it is we discuss on the show every night. If you've got something to say, there's been a goal. There's been a goal. Oh, my goodness me. Let's find out who scored. It's Ludogorets have scored against Arsenal. Unbelievable, unbelievable. In the Champions League, is it Cafu? Is it Cafu? We'll hit this thing again. It's been another goal. Who else has scored? Don't know. I don't get it. Arsenal have scored. Apparently, it's been another 2-0 Ludogorets. Hang on a minute, there's been another goal. This is insane. This is insane. Who scored now? No idea. We've no idea. But Ludogorets are currently 2-0 up against the Arsenal. What is happening? What's happening in Bulgaria? Arsenal are currently losing 2-0 to Ludogorets. Let's forget the menu because we've got Mark Goldbridge from United Stand on the Skype. Mark, are you there, baby?
Yeah, evening, Justin. How are you?
I'm all the better for speaking to you, you lovely man. The floor is once again yours to talk all things Man United.
Okay, thank you very much. Frustrated, angry, and if you're not a United fan, I'm going for a little bit of a universal theme tonight. I am frustrated, I'm angry, I'm feeling angrier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking competition because Jose Mourinho has been charged by the FA again. Now that may be funny to some people who don't support Manchester United, but for me, and I think for United fans as well, it's highly frustrating, it's bully boy tactics, and where is football going? Where is football going? Let's look at the first charge. He was charged because in the Liverpool-Manchester United game, the FA, Premier League, whoever, the same thing, they decided to allocate a Manchester-born referee. Doesn't support Manchester United, but Liverpool Scousers for a whole week made a big deal about it. And then the day before, Jose Mourinho said, the referee is under some undue pressure because of what's been said. He gets charged for stating the obvious. And let me just add, in the next game, in the next day in the game, the Manchester referee booked 5 Manchester United players, no Liverpool players, and I don't care what anybody said, it was an even game with the even sort of tackles. So he was actually right. So he got charged for that, for saying it how it is. And then he's been charged again today because at the weekend, just before half-time, Mark Clattenburg, who I don't care what anybody says, every club in the Premier League will have had some bad experience with him. Some people, no, I'm not going to say what I call him, but he didn't give what, maybe not a blatant penalty, but there was contact, it's a penalty. He didn't give the penalty. Jose Mourinho in the tunnel has apparently been a bit abusive, and good old Mark Clattenburg's gone and told the teacher, and lo and behold, Jose's been charged today. Now, I know what some fans will be saying. They'll be laughing, Manchester United, whatever. But the FA, they'll be saying respect. Well, I tell you what, in my job, if I go into my job tomorrow and lose my boss £5 million and he comes in and has a go at me for my incompetence and I go, respect, I tell you what, it'll be redundancy because that incompetence should not be rewarded. I think what needs to happen and what is happening is very different to what is happening. But I think it's long overdue now that referees, and especially people like Clattenburg, who has tattoos on his arms of all the cup finals he's done. So he's obviously a celebrity whore. He needs to come, he and everybody else, referees need to be able to come out after games and explain what they've done. It's the fans' game, and I think this is where FA Premier League are going really wrong here. They're going dictatorship. They're like, we don't want personalities on the touchline. We don't want managers questioning referees. This is what we want it to be run our way. Well, I don't care whether you support United, Liverpool, or any other club. I want to see a manager passionate, and I want to see if a referee gets it wrong. It's not just Jose Mourinho who was frustrated. It was 70-odd thousand Manchester United fans who were frustrated and would have said exactly the same thing to Clattenburg. And I think it's wrong. It's very wrong the way the FA are dealing with it. It's bully boy tactics, and it's coming to a club near you very soon because this is the way they want to go. And also, I think, well, I'm not going to go down what I think is victimisation of Manchester United and Mourinho, but I think the way football is going and the way the authorities are just basically allowing referees to get away with total and utter incompetence. In fact, at the weekend, last weekend, there was at least 3 or 4 bad decisions across numerous games. Mike Dean a couple of weeks ago. And then you get retired referee Graham Poll saying that Clattenburg actually has openly admitted that if the crowd turn against him, he'll turn against them and won't give him any decisions. I mean, this is one of our top referees, apparently. So very frustrated this week, and more from a fan point of view. I mean, I don't agree with Mourinho being charged, but I did watch that game at the weekend, and I found the refereeing particularly bad. And I think it's unacceptable that these people aren't accountable and can just go around doing what they want, causing mayhem. There's a lot of money that fans put into football, and I think it's about time we started getting a proper service from the man in the middle. Very quickly, just before I go back to Justin, Bastian Schweinsteiger back in training for Manchester United. Big news. If you listen to some of the press, apparently he's been back training for a week. Luke Shaw killed that off yesterday and said, "Welcome back, Bastian." He went back yesterday. Will Jose use him? I hope so. I mean, we're playing Fellaini, so it can't get much worse. But I think Schweinsteiger, World Cup winner, leader, experience, is exactly what Manchester United fans have wanted and could not understand what was going there. You know, Jose's not above criticism. We all back him. #back Jose, but I remember Sir Alex Ferguson, and he used to make silly decisions as well. Doesn't mean he's not great, but Schweinsteiger back is a good step, and it sort of made us feel a little bit better after that bad result at the weekend where we couldn't hit an ocean from a boat. But for the second home game running, same against Stoke. So it's not a great time for United at the moment. I think we've just got to get our heads down and see where we are at Christmas. But Schweinsteiger back. Fenerbahce on Thursday night, and then a must-win game against Swansea on Sunday. But that's me. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll fly back to Justin in the studio.
Thank you so much, Mark. Before you go, I think we've had another goal. Who scored? Jakar. Jakar for Arsenal. It's now 2-1 for Arsenal against Ludogorets. Mark, before you go, strong words from you tonight. You're clearly upset about the treatment of Mourinho by Mark Clattenburg. You said Mark Clattenburg is a celebrity whore. Is there a suggestion or a feeling from you that Clattenburg has some kind of personal vendetta against either United or Mourinho?
I think Clattenburg did it to United 2, maybe 3 years ago at Leicester. We were 3-1 up. He gave a dodgy penalty and he cost us the points then. But I notice his name coming up a lot. It's not just United fans. I think any fan in the Premier League will have had an experience of him. He runs round with his silly duck arse haircut, and he's a celebrity referee. He loves the attention. He's got total backing from his employers, which is great if you're actually competent. I don't like him as a referee. I really don't like what I've seen of him as a person, and it just frustrates me and a lot of fans that these people, they're making decisions that are affecting millions of people, ruining their weekend, and there's no accountability. So strong words, but I mean them.
Okay, Mark, I'm just hearing that I just need to apologise for the use of the term duck bleep, which was, of course, a hairstyle back in the days of my parents. But my dad still wears one. Mark, and also a fascinating statement. If you will allow me to ask you, is it true that Clattenburg has said that if the fans of a team turn on him, he will then in turn turn on that team?
This is from a third party. Well, not a third party. It's an ex-referee, Graham Poll. I think it was in numerous papers on Sunday, basically saying that Clattenburg has said to him that if the supporters turn against him, he will start turning against them in his decisions, which sounds ridiculous. And then Gary Neville replied to that on Twitter and said that Graham Poll did it as well. So this is not, this is more than one referee. And I think they are mini celebrities who there is just no accountability at all. I mean, I've actually written to the Premier League before about it to say, is there any feedback given to these referees? And basically was politely told to go forth and prosper.
Okay, Mark, fireworks from you again tonight. As always, thank you so much, sir. We'll look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Cheers. Thanks for coming. Thank
you, brother. We've had another goal. So many goals. Who scored now? Barcelona have scored. Who scored for Barcelona? Messi, the magician, the best player in the world. Messi has scored for Barcelona against Manchester City tonight. We'll have a score update later on. I just want to ask you boys on the sofa, Freddie, of course, and Scott, our Leicester fan, about comments made by Mark there about the standard of refereeing, and in particular, Mourinho's. What's he been given? Is it a ban, Mark? He's been given a touchline ban. Yeah. He's just been given a charge. Do you think it's bully boy tactics, or do you think he deserves it?
I think there's some valid points that he's come up with. However, we know you can't say anything against the refs in modern day football. So if you say something, then you're going to get punished. Go back to the weekend with Leicester. Leicester shouldn't have had the penalty against them. It should have been a foul just before it on Hoof. Yeah. However, Ranieri comes out and literally puts it to bed straight away, saying, it's okay, he's the boss, he's giving it. And that instantly calmed me down, because I was seething when the penalty was given.
Sure.
But then we just move on from it straight away.
I think Ranieri is actually a good example to look at. He's very rarely does he get kind of... He focuses too much on a referee's decisions. If it goes one way, it goes the other. But, you know, at the same time, you can completely understand the frustration when, if the game does boil down to a refereeing decision and you don't think it's gone your way.
And I think there is some, it's got legs. If a ref comes out and goes, you know what, I made a mistake on that point. It's happened, but I've made a mistake. I think fans will accept that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if the ref comes out and says, I messed up, I think he'd get... hammered, like, if he admits to it.
Okay, and of course we don't know what was said in the tunnel, but clearly something was said, and it's got him some kind of FA charge. Listen, Freddie and Scott, I've got to love you and leave you for now. Thank you so much. No problem. Please come back onto the lime green sofa. We're going to have to take another short break. Don't go anywhere. We're live on Sky 212. It's Fan TV all the way till 10 o'clock. Back in 2. Good times. Freddie, thank you so much. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212, Facebook Live and YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, hopefully you've refreshed. We don't want to lose you. A couple of score updates. Manchester City are losing at home to Barcelona, courtesy of the magician Messi. Let's find out how the Arsenal are getting on against Ludogorets Razgrad. We've got friend of the show and Arsenal fan, Kenny Ken, on the Skype. Kenny, are you there, baby? Kenny? Hello, yes, you lovely man. It's Kenny Ken, everybody.
Hey, dude.
It's a 3-goal thriller at the moment, Kenny Ken, is it not?
It's extremely poor defending by both sides. I think the first goal was a free kick that Ludacris got. It was a foul by Coquelin, 30 yards from goal. And it was a direct free kick. Jonathan Cafu put Ludacris ahead in 12 minutes gone. 3 minutes later, the same player, Jonathan Cafu, he's managed to get the better of Kieran Gibbs, go past him, put a cross in, no marking, and the Romanian international Kezerous put it 2-0 up. And then 5 minutes later, Mesut Ozil's on the left-hand side. He's put a great cross in, meant for Giroud, but it managed to bypass Giroud, and it went to Granit Xhaka, who's put it 2-0 up. But as we speak, Ludacris have got a corner. It's if you stay with me right now.
We're staying with you, Kenny Can.
Stay with me right now. It's a corner. Kezerous clearly unmarked. No, it's a corner gone in. Oh no, it's got. Oh, jeez. It still stays with me now because it's still got the ball.
Okay.
So Cafu's on the right-hand side.
I'm not going anywhere. It's a running commentary from Kenny Can. This is awesome.
He's head the ball out. Come on, get it out. Stop it. Ludacris is still on the ball, still on the attack. You know, so we managed to sort of get him on the halfway line.
We're not going anywhere, Kenny Can. This is gold. This is gold.
So Kezerous on the ball. He's still got the ball. He's like I said, still in the last third. He's found a green shirt. We managed to try to see the
What's happening now? What's happening now?
Oh, calm down, Justin. You're making me get a lot of attack now. Right. Still on the ball. Right. Oh no, Ludacris is still on the goal. It says left-hand side.
Hey.
Oh, this overhead corner. It says goal kick now.
Okay, Kenny, can I? That's brilliant. That's just phenomenal. Kenny, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
We've had Gary on the Lime Green sofa tonight, our Tottenham Hotspurs fan, and he's suggesting that you've been interfering with our Duttist squirrel. What have you done to our Duttist squirrel? Gary's question to you.
I don't know. I think the squirrel's taller than Gary, innit? It's taller than...
Kenny, could you Skype us in again later on with another update, please?
Yeah, I'll Skype you now. Right now, we're on the ball. Jake... Oh, right. We're still there. Oh, right. Jake's got the ball. Passed it around in defence. No. It's, basically, Ludacris got 10 men behind the ball. But at the moment, I'll get back to you when there's more action. But this is very
Kenny, can you equalise? Can you win this game tonight?
I expect us still to win comfortably. I think Ludacris is going to tire in the last 20 minutes. Like I think our Premiership quality could tire. But that's what happens when you make too many changes. You know, like I said, the continuity of the performance can get affected. But it's November, isn't it? It's
absolutely.
It's horrible November for Arsenal.
Kenny Ken, just very, very briefly, and we'll speak to you again later on, sir. Can you confirm or deny that you've interfered with our Duttist squirrel?
I've done it. I have to confirm that I did interfere with the Duttist squirrel. As you can imagine, I find it very hard to keep my hands to myself, especially around the studio. I like making myself at home. And I am guilty as charged.
Okay, Kenny Ken, Skype us in there. We love you. Kenny Ken, everybody.
Sure.
Guilty has charged. Gary, he's interfered with the Duttist squirrel. Oh, it's another goal. This is unbelievable. Who scored now? Mönchengladbach. Mönchengladbach has scored tonight in their game against... who are they playing tonight? Mönchengladbach? Celtic. Celtic, it's 1-0 to Borussia Mönchengladbach against Celtic. Is all happening tonight. Let's get some more fans onto the Lime Green sofa. Please welcome two more Chelsea fans. It's Stephen and Gary. Craig! It's Craig. I need name tags. Stephen, he's interfered with the squirrel. Craig, I'm sorry, brother. Please take a seat onto the Lime Green sofa. Please take a seat. We'll do a quick menu rundown. Here's what's still to come on tonight's packed show. Luke and Gary are long gone, as are Freddie and Scott. No, they're not. They're still here. In just a few seconds' time, I'll be welcoming Chelsea fans, Stephen and Craig, onto the sofa. I've already done that. They're here. At 9 o'clock, we're off to a rather chilly-looking Costa Brava for our usual Premier League roundup with Chris Darwin. And then rounding out the show, we've got grassroots boys Stuart and Simon taking us all the way through to 10 o'clock tonight. It really is a packed show. We've got goals being scored for fun in the Champions League tonight. I'm sure we'll see the football before we finish at 10 o'clock. Stephen and Craig.
Yeah, you got it right this time.
Welcome, I'm sorry, brother. Welcome to the Lime Green sofa. How you doing?
Doing brilliant, thanks.
Interfering with the Duttist squirrel, I see.
Oh yeah, my mate keeps talking to me. Can't you see his mouth moving?
What was that? What was that? Have we got two happy and content Chelsea fans on the sofa tonight, Stephen?
As always, we go with the Ruckman smooth. Took it on the chin last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we're up against it now, even though we lost 2 matches, so looking good.
You are looking very good, of course, and now I've got some great stats for you because I think it's now the 4th successive Premier League win and the 4th successive clean sheet since the switch to 3-4-3.
Yeah.
The formation, of course, that served Conte so well in Italy. 4 games, 4 wins, 11 goals scored without reply.
Well, that's wicked, isn't it, man?
It is wicked, it is. So the 3-4-3 system, Craig, is really working out for you. So that's not likely to change in the immediate future, is it?
No, I hope it stays the way. I hope Terry comes back soon. Don't know who we'll take out then, though.
When is Terry due back?
Well, I think he's in training now. I'm not sure when he's actually coming back.
Well, Craig, do you need John Terry at the moment?
No, we don't need him at the moment, but the team's doing brilliant as it is, but Chelsea always have trouble with their consistency around Christmas time.
Sure. So if Terry, once he's fit and ready to come back, will there be a place in the side for him at the moment, or is there just no room for John Terry?
That's hard to say. It's difficult who you're going to take out because they're all playing good at the moment, aren't they?
Absolutely. Stephen, who would you take out? Fit John Terry comes back. Would you make room for him, or stays numbered?
I think I think John Terry would know himself. He's stayed at the club where he loves and wanted to stay, and I would think he'll take it for the team. He's our captain still.
Yeah.
Cahill seems to have been playing a little bit better, but what I like with the team is fighting for places, and JT will be the first one to fight for his place. So the other 3 have got to be aware of that.
Okay, Diego Costa scored his 40th Premier League goal for Chelsea in just 64 matches. Here's a pop quiz question for you. Only one other Chelsea player needed fewer matches for 40 Premier League goals. Who was it, Stephen?
I would say Drogba has to be, surely.
No, Drogba needed 83. It took Drogba 83 matches to score 40 Premier League goals. Craig, one other player.
Well, not a striker. It could have been Lampard.
I'm not giving you any clues. I'm not giving you any clues. So, Craig, once again, Diego Costa scored his 40th Premier League goal for Chelsea in just 64 matches. Only one other Chelsea player needed fewer matches to score 40 goals. Who was it?
It's between 2, Lampard and Zola. Which one? Any of them?
It's neither. Okay, tweet in if you think you know. No more guesses on the floor, please. Our Chelsea fans have both got it wrong. If you think you know, Diego Costa scored his 40th Premier League goal for Chelsea in just 64 matches. Only one other player has taken fewer matches to get to the 40-goal mark. Who is it? Join in at fantv.me. At FanTVUK is the Twitter. One other player, one Chelsea player who got to the 40-goal tally in fewer than 64 matches. Who was it? Let's launch our second poll. It's already up and running. Here's the question. Which outcast would you rather have at your club? Schweinsteiger, Mkhitaryan, Fabregas or Sturridge? Stephen, which way would you vote?
I would say Fabregas.
You go for Fabregas. Craig, which outcast would you rather have at your club? Schweinsteiger, Mkhitaryan, Fabregas or Sturridge?
I'll say Sturridge.
You go for Sturridge. How would you vote? It's our second Twitter poll. There will be another one later on. At FanTVUK is the Twitter handle. Which outcast would you rather have at your club? Schweinsteiger, Mkhitaryan, Fabregas or Sturridge? Guys, would you like a broomer for the first time tonight?
Pardon, what?
It's a breaking rumour, Craig. It's a broomer. Broomer! 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 I can't believe this is our first broomer of the night. Chelsea are amongst a handful of Premier League clubs interested in Schalke left-back Kolasinac. He's a left-back, plays for Schalke. It appears Conte is still looking to strengthen his defence, Stephen. The 3-4-3 formation is clearly working. You're not letting in many goals. You've got 4 clean sheets in a row, but yet he's still looking to strengthen that defence. Do you think that's still your weakest area?
Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it, last year? And I don't think he's doing a bad thing. But I did think we've got a young player, and he's one of the best defenders in Germany. Was he Mönchengladbach? Gladbach?
Yeah.
He's hitting all the notes, but I think they've got him to the end of next year.
You're almost as good with your pronunciations as me. Just absolutely brilliant. So who else would you bring in to strengthen that defence?
Well, I said Ron Harris, but he's probably a little bit past it now. But I'm quite happy with it, to be honest. You've got JT on the back. You've still got the Abramovich.
Yeah.
Who's and I think it's about keeping a settled side. If they're fighting too much and they're not going to get in,
sure.
I think it's about keeping it settled.
Craig, we've had another goal. This is unbelievable. Who scored now? Okay, we've got another goal for Manchester City. They've equalised against Barcelona. It's 1-0. Gundogan for City. Gundogan for City. Unbelievable. 1-0 Manchester City versus Barcelona. We've got a 1 minute before our next break, Craig. But let me just ask you this. One fan online, I saw this today, posted Diego Costa is what Zlatan pretends to be every week. Do you think that's a fair comment? Is he a much, much better centre-forward than Zlatan?
I'm trying to think who Zlatan is. Sorry,
Man United.
Nice. Very nice. So Diego Costa, Stephen, is what Zlatan pretends to be every week. He's the real deal, Costa, isn't he? He's officially now the Premier League's top scorer.
Well, I was going to say
goals.
he's proved it in the Premiership, and it don't matter what strikers come, they've got. And I've said it. It's saying Messi's probably the greatest player in the world, but it'd be lovely to see him performing on the greatest
Costa's a brilliant
league
player, but what gives me the hump with him is when he falls over after time.
Yeah.
Oh, you think he's not strong enough on the ball?
No, he's brilliant on the ball. It's just he dives a lot.
Okay, got to take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're on Sky 212 as Fan TV. Sorry, Craig, I have to take a quick break. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 o'clock tonight. If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, hopefully you've refreshed. We don't want to lose you. To get in touch with us, Fan TV channel is the Skype, at Fan TV UK is the Twitter. We've got our second poll up and running. Or if you don't have the Twitter, you'd rather email joinin@fantv.me. I've got Stephen and the lovely Craig, our Chelsea fans, on the lime green sofa. Kenny Ken, hopefully, will be Skyping us. What another goal. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Who scored? It's the Arsenal. They've equalised against Ludogorets. It's Giroud. It's now 2-2. Arsenal in their game, their Champions League game against Ludogorets in Bulgaria. There it is again. I'm reeling. Who scored now? Paris Saint-Germain have scored against... let's have a little look. Paris Saint-Germain have scored against Basel. What's the score now? Let me... Okay, it's 1-0. 1-0. Thanks, Gary. 1-0. Paris Saint-Germain have scored. It's all happening tonight in the Champions League. Stephen, let me go back to... It is a very exciting night in the Champions League, of course. Let's talk about the change in Hazard and Costa compared to how they were playing this time last year, and others, not just those two. Costa and Hazard scored 12 and 4 goals in the Premier League, respectively. That was the whole of last
season, yeah.
12 goals for Costa, 4 goals for Hazard. Just 10 games in, they're already up to 8 goals and 5 goals, respectively, and looking full of inspiration. Yeah. That's got to stick in Mourinho's throat, hasn't it? Because these players were not playing for him this time last year, and now they're scoring for fun after only 10 matches, Stephen.
Yeah, well, I mean, he must, obviously it sticks in his throat, but he knows he's got it wrong, and I don't think he's repaired. He still doesn't. In his face, he looks strained, Mourinho, at Man U. You could see it. There was times before even the doctor incident against the Swansea last year.
Yes.
You could see in his face, he weren't himself. You know, he didn't have that in his face. You could see it was getting to him, and I feel he needs a break from football for a little while, to be honest.
That's your feeling for Mourinho? You think Jose Mourinho needs a break from football?
I think so, yeah. Do him good to have a year or a season or two out, yeah.
You just think he's lost his way?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lost the plot completely at the moment.
Let's introduce some more Chelsea into this conversation. Another Chelsea fan on the Skype is Adam. Adam, are you there, baby cakes?
Hello, Justin.
Adam, friend of the show, you lovely man. How you doing, baby? Adam, I just want to pick you. We've got 2 Chelsea fans on the line green tonight. We've got the lovely Craig and we've got Stephen.
Hi,
I just want to pick up on a comment that Stephen's just made. Jose Mourinho has lost his way. He should take some time out from football. What are your thoughts?
I don't know if he'd be willing to do that, but he's certainly he's a shadow of the man he used to be. When he was at Chelsea a couple of years ago and sort of in 2005, he doesn't look anything like the man he used to be. But whether he'd ever take a break or not, I don't know. I don't know if he'd be willing to do that.
What has Conte done that Mourinho couldn't? Let me just ask you the same question, or the stats that I just put to the boys on the sofa. Costa and Hazard, the whole of last season under Mourinho, they scored 12 and 4 goals respectively. Just 10 games in, already Costa scored 8. He's the top Premier League scorer, and Hazard has scored 5 after just 10 games.
I don't know what Conte's doing differently, because obviously in the season before last, when we won the league, they were 2 of the star players. I don't know what Conte's doing differently, but he's obviously installed the confidence back into them, and I think Diego Costa, especially the way he plays, he's obviously a wind-up merchant. He loves winding up all the fans, the players he's playing against, and when he's doing that, he sort of probably feels a lot more confident in what he's doing. But Mourinho, when in the end of last season, or during last season, he was almost encouraging it from Costa too much, wasn't he? Yeah. And that might have had a detrimental effect, I guess.
Also, double the points from this time last year. I think this time last year, you had 11 points at this stage of the season.
Yeah, we're playing much better this season. Sorry, I think the only sort of down point on that was the West Ham game, which I was at, I guess it was just a massive off night for us. We didn't look very good at all. But we're back to the Premier League on Saturday, this weekend. Sorry, we looked much better again.
Adam, another player who seems to have turned a corner is Gary Cahill, and he believes that Hazard and Costa's defending will also be the key to maintaining a title challenge. Cahill says the defending from the front has been pivotal. What are your thoughts on that?
Sorry, Justin, I missed that last bit. Sorry, mate.
Gary Cahill says the defending from the front has been pivotal thus far. What are your thoughts on that, mate?
Yeah, I think the defending's looking a lot better across the park, really. I think we're certainly conceding less goals, and we're also looking a lot more dangerous going forwards as well. The three at the back, as I said to you when I came on a few weeks ago, it's obviously working, and it's also working in favour of David Luiz as well, who's looked really good. Gary Cahill's certainly improved. But I remember when I saw him at that Swansea game away, it was scaring me that he was probably our main defender at that point. But we're looking much more solid now, apart from that West Ham game, as I say, but there was something off about that night.
Adam, where are you at the moment? Are you at a non-league game or something?
I am. I'm at Hereford FC tonight at Edgar Street. You want to have a look?
Okay. Oh, very nice. What's the scoreline so far? Hello?
It's currently 0-0. It's not the best of games, so it's the South West League. They're about 3 or 4 leagues below the National League. Can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, it's 0-0 at the minute. But it's one of my favourite non-league grounds, so I'm glad I'm back here again.
Adam, and tell us why specifically you find yourself at Hereford this evening.
So they're playing against Larkhall, which is a team fairly local to me and you in Bristol.
Yeah.
And they offered me a seat on their first team coach for £10 return. So I bit the opportunity.
It's a bargain, you can't go wrong. Adam, let me ask you this trivia question as well that I asked the boys on the sofa earlier on. Let's see if you know the answer. Diego Costa scored his 40th Premier League goal for Chelsea at the weekend. He's achieved that benchmark in just 64 matches. Only one other Chelsea player needed fewer matches to achieve the 40-goal mark. Who was it?
I've got absolutely no idea.
OK, he's got no clue. We've got some answers, I think, on the Twitter, is it? Can we have a look at some of these answers? Let's have a look. David Watkins has got it right. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is the answer. And another one got it right as well. Chris Darwin, Jimmy Floyd. Darwin knows. We'll be speaking to our man on the Costa later on the show, I think 9 o'clock. It was Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. He scored 40 goals for Chelsea in just 59 matches, Adam.
Wow. Wow. Thought it was more than that.
Adam.
Hello.
Diego Costa is what Zlatan pretends to be every week. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Zlatan, I don't know who Zlatan is at the minute this season.
The second time someone said that tonight, no one seems to know who Zlatan is. If you know who Zlatan is, tweet at FanTVUK, hashtag who's Zlatan. If you think you know who Zlatan is, we'd love to hear from you. Tweet, join in at fantv.me. Who is Zlatan? Nobody seems to know. Craig doesn't know. Adam doesn't know. Stephen, do you know who Zlatan is?
I do know who he is, yeah.
Oh, Stephen, don't spoil it. Unbelievable. Get out. Adam, thank you so much, brother. We'll speak to you again, you lovely man. Let's hear it for Adam, everybody.
See you soon.
See you soon. Thank you so much, Adam. OK, would you like another Broomer?
Well, I would like a Stuart inquiry on the last one, because I'm sure Torres was up there with that Hasselbank.
No, you're absolutely wrong. No, I'm not having that, Stephen. 59.
Stuart, the Liverpool fan.
Stuart, the Liverpool fan. You said Torres?
It was tongue-in-cheek.
Stuart, tongue-in-cheek. It was Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Yes,
reached the 40-goal mark for Chelsea in just 59 matches. Broomer!
That is
Broomer! 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 Yes, it's our second breaking rumour, Craig, of the evening. Newcastle captain, is it Lascelles, Mark? LaSalle is on Antonio Conte's radar. He's the Newcastle captain for an £18 million deal as the Chelsea boss rebuilds his defence. What are your thoughts on that, Stephen?
Well, I mean, we've got to be looking at any potential good defenders or any good players, but I still like to think that you've got to keep it a balance without having too many. I think You know.
Yeah, you don't want to spoil the pattern, do you?
Yeah. I think it puts on. You know, I just feel it could unsettle. We probably do need another defender, but I think more of a centre half, really.
Craig, do Chelsea really need him, or is it just that they're looking for young, strong English players to replace John Terry ultimately?
Well, we need English players to get an England team, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because England are never going to win the World Cup because there's no Englishmen in the Premiership. It's the same old boys every year, isn't it, in England?
Okay, for the first time tonight, I'm going to be asking, can I get a foul, please? Yep, don't know what that is. It seems something strange as a foot. Have we fallen off air? Are we still on? We're still on, okay. That's good. That's a plus. That's a plus. It's my favourite feature. Thank you. For the first time tonight, it's all happening. It's all happening. I don't know where I am. Are we on? For the first time this evening, I'll have a vowel, please. Thank you. Once again, we're looking for the name of a footballer involved in a fouling incident. We've got an eye. We've got an eye. Stephen, it's a tough call, but based on that one single solitary eye, do you think you know the name of the footballer we're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay, that's lovely. Brilliant. Yeah, keep it to yourself. That's great. Craig, any ideas? Don't tell us if you know, but any ideas?
Yeah, I've got an idea.
Okay, the boys on the sofa have a clear idea. If you think you know the name of the footballer we're looking for, tweet us at FanTVUK, hashtag foul, please. Email join in at fantv.me, hashtag foul, please. Gary, our Spurs fan, will be joining the boys on the sofa after the next break. There's clearly too much Chelsea going on at the moment. Gary's still on the floor. Yeah, so don't worry, Spurs fans. We will be joined by some more Spurs. Gary's coming back after the next break. Stephen, let's talk about your next three games. You've got Everton, of course, at the weekend, followed by Middlesbrough away, and then you've got Tottenham at home. Now, defensively, you're both really strong. Do you think you can break through the Tottenham defence? Can Tottenham break through the Chelsea defence?
I think we're on our game at the moment. I think we'll beat anybody at the moment, to be honest.
Craig, do you agree? Can you beat anybody at the moment very quickly? Yes or no?
Yes.
Lovely. We've got to take a quick break. We will be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's Fan TV. Good times. Thank you, Craig. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212, Facebook Live and YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, please don't forget to refresh at the top of every hour. Let's quickly go to the Skype because we've got David Brent back. He's the best David Brent impersonator in the UK. He's also our Arsenal fan. James, you there, baby? James, listen. No time for the dance is all happening there in the Ludogorets game. Give us an update.
Well, within the first 13 minutes, it was a bit to and fro, and then Arsenal, like Arsenal were so capable of doing, just collapsed worse than some men that I've seen in nightclubs on Saturday nights with women. It's gone absolutely Pete Tong. The first goal was a free kick that never was. The ball's come in. David Ospina in goal for Arsenal, who's replacing Sheck, which causes all sorts of rows with people.
Yeah.
He's pretty much conceded a header by not moving off of his line. He's just watched it happen. And then within 2 minutes of that, Kieran Gibbs is spun like a hot point by some player who I've never heard of in my life. He pays the ball in, and it's tapped in for 2-0. And I'm thinking, what is going on here? We're going tippy-tappy. Nothing's happening. And all of a sudden, Ozil gets the ball out wide. I thought the ball was off for a corner, but it's just in. He whips in a cross out of nowhere. Granit Xhaka goes, bang, have some of that. And big, lovely Giroud, like he always does. You know, chim-chimney, chim-chim-chiroo. Uni's Ibrahimovic when you've got Giroud.
It's nice.
Makes
Lovely.
it 2-2.
Lovely. So it's still currently 2-2 the scoreline.
It is, yeah, and it's just kicked off for the second half here. I mean, I'm getting a sweat here. It's tough watching this, but we should be comfy. But you never know with Arsenal, like I've said.
James, is it a flip of the coin at the moment as to who's going to win this tie?
I think at the moment Arsenal are back in control of it. I mean, we were nervy. But we're doing this a lot lately where you think the chips are down and then we're pulling it back. But I don't know. These guys that they've got playing up top have got so much pace and everything else like that. And Carl Jenkinson and Gibbs are being rinsed, like I said. Like they're being spun like hot point washers out here. They are seriously getting rinsed for the pace.
Has Wenger made any changes half-time, James?
No. It's still the same lineup.
Is Walcott on the park tonight?
No, he's not. No, he's not been taken because he's got a slight injury.
OK, James, don't go anywhere because we're going to bring back our Tottenham fan to the sofa. Welcome back, Gary, everybody.
Hey, Gary.
Gary, just get yourself in the middle there if you can, mate.
Not bad, Gaza.
All right, Gary, if you can squeeze in there. Thank you, brother.
Get rid of that.
OK.
Kenny
Ken, you better open don't play Sunday.
OK, unbelievable. He's throwing down the gauntlet there to Kenny Ken, and he's interfering with our Duttish squirrel. Squeeze yourself in there, Gary. James, I wanted to keep you here because, of course, there is a big North London derby happening next weekend. Tottenham, of course, the only remaining undefeated club in the Premier League at the moment. The problem for them is, James, they cannot win a game. Are they going to beat you next weekend?
Nah, it's draw written all over it for me.
You think it's going to be a draw?
Yeah.
Will you be concerned should Harry Kane make his return next weekend from injury?
It depends who we've got playing in defence. I mean, if it's the same as the two that are out here tonight, you know, Spurs ain't slow either. If also we're playing like I said, we're playing Ramsey out wide. This guy's not a winger. He needs to be in the middle of the park. He's not doing bits out here.
James, let's say that Harry Kane isn't fit enough to make the derby next weekend. You're not going to be overly concerned with Janssen up front, are you?
Not really, unless it's a penalty. That guy don't look like he can do very much. So I'm not that concerned about him. But this is the kind of thing, you know, we all take jibes and make jokes, but this is the kind of game where these players come back and haunt you. So you got to be careful. You know, I consider Spurs as somewhat of a threat this year. I do find it quite funny that they're the only team unbeaten, but they're still behind Arsenal. But hey ho, that's the way life is.
Before we leave you, James, let me just ask Gary. Gary, are you going to beat Arsenal next weekend?
I think I'll go with the draw.
You think we'll go with the draw as well? OK, James, give us a scoreline update later on, if you will, later on in the second half. Give us
Will
another slide. Before you go, when can we come and see your next gig as the UK's top David Brent impersonator?
Whenever I get the next one, you're all welcome to come along.
Okay, that's lovely. Are you still playing the Weston-super-Mare Playhouse at the end of November?
I've got family down in Weston, so yeah, I'll see.
The old Movember going on there now.
Come on, James, give us the dance one more time. He loves it. He loves it.
Take care, guys.
James, good luck. We'll speak to you later on.
No, all right, much love. All the best.
Thank you, brother. We love you. So, Gary, welcome back to the Lime Green Sofa. Gary's our Spurs fan, of course. He just joined us. He was on earlier in the show. He's so hot, we had to bring his bot back onto the sofa.
So nice, we had to do it twice.
Absolutely. Oh, that's lovely.
You like New York?
Has the North London derby next weekend got a boring draw written all over it?
I think so.
Okay, Craig, you are a world record holder. That's correct, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, mate.
Tell us which world record you actually hold.
When I was a little boy, I had a brain tumour and cancer, and suddenly I started getting all these get well cards. The doctor came around by my bed and said, this Guinness boy should go in the Guinness Book of Records. We just took it as a joke, but our friend was there and said, let's go for it. And I started getting millions of cards from all around the world.
So get well cards were sent to you from around the world, and you had so many that it was your doctor suggested you try and get yourself into the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah.
Which you did.
Yeah.
How many get well cards did you receive in order to achieve the Guinness World Record?
Well, in the record book at the start, it was 33 million. And because of a billionaire heard about me in America, he said, this boy needs more than just a get well card. England sent me home to die. Mother was going through the cards. The first card she picked out was from a billionaire in America offering to pay for the operation over there.
So an American billionaire not only sent you a get well card, he offered to pay for a life-saving operation.
Yeah.
And did he pay for your operation?
Yes, pioneering surgery. It was never been seen in the brain before.
What was the name of the American billionaire? Who paid for it?
Mr. Kluge, his name was.
And a total stranger, you never met him?
No, he saw me in the papers in America because I was always on the TVs and papers back then.
And how did you make the American news, Craig, in order for the billionaire to see it?
It just went worldwide, my story.
So he'd never met you, sent you a get well card, and he offered to fly you over and pay for your treatment.
Yeah.
Have you got any idea how much that treatment cost?
No, I didn't ask him. I didn't feel... No, but it must have been millions or something.
That is an amazing story. What an incredible story. And that operation, can you say that's the reason, the fact that he paid for your op, that's the reason you're sitting here now?
Yeah, exactly. If it weren't for the cards and Mr. Kluge, I wouldn't be here today.
And how many cards did you receive?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Over 350 million.
That's phenomenal. Come on. 350 million get well cards, and that is still...
Hold up. When I was 10, someone put a hoax around that I wanted business cards, so I started getting millions of them, so they was all joined in with it. 350 million cards all together.
Business cards and get well cards.
What would a 10-year-old want with business cards, eh?
Did you keep any of those business cards?
No.
Did you keep all the get well cards?
No, we recycled them all. I kept the ones from the famous people.
Okay, so tell us which famous people sent you get well cards?
Well, the first star that sent me a card was Kylie Minogue. She sent a cassette along with it saying, hang on in there, Craig.
Oh, that's lovely. Who else sent you a...
Michael Jackson wrote to me 4 times, signed his pictures.
Michael Jackson sent you 4 cards?
4 pictures of himself, all signed. Get well, Craig. I hope you're getting well.
That's phenomenal. Who else?
Arnie Schwarzenegger, Madonna.
Bill Clinton, wasn't it?
Bill Clinton, is that? Yeah, absolutely it deserves another round of applause.
Yeah, before you asked, no, it wasn't stuck together.
Say that again, what was that?
Before you asked that card from Bill Clinton, it weren't stuck together.
The card from Bill Clinton wasn't stuck together. Unbelievable. And is it true that Al Pacino sent you a card as well?
Yeah, Al Pacino.
And do you remember any of the messages? Were there any standout messages from the famous card senders?
Yeah, from Arnie Schwarzenegger, he said, keep on pumping, Craig.
Oh, that is lovely. What about the card from Al Pacino? I'm a big Al Pacino fan. What did he say?
Oh, I can't remember that one, mate. I've had so many bloody cards. I'll give myself them all.
That is absolutely fantastic. And to this day, you're still in the Guinness Book of World
No,
Records.
they took it out of the book in '91 after I broke the record. That's why they kept sending me cards. I've been well since '91. They only stopped a couple of years ago.
Absolutely brilliant story. Absolutely fantastic story. Thank you so much, Craig, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you here with us. It's a fantastic story.
It's a pleasure to be on this show, mate, talking about football. It's brilliant.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. We've got the results of our second poll. Let's remind ourselves of the question and see how you voted. The question was, which outcast would you rather have at your club? Only 5% said Schweinsteiger. A massive 42% said Mkhitaryan. 31% Fabregas, 22% Sturridge. Gary, how would you have voted?
Wow. Outcast. I think I'd go for Fabregas there.
You would have gone Fabregas, I think. Stephen, did you go Fabregas as well? Yeah. Okay. What was that on the floor?
Well, yeah, because there was
Sturridge?
Yeah, Sturridge.
You go Sturridge?
Yeah, Sturridge.
You're so fickle. You're so fickle. It's our second Twitter poll, and we've got some reaction tweets to that poll. This is from our lovely friend Jordan Luke. Fabregas for City, says Jordan Luke. We've got another one in as well. Let's have a look from Matthew Fallon. Can't decide between Mkhitaryan and Cech for Arsenal. Have we got another one as well? From Daddy Mo. Andre 3000 or Big Bois? What did I just say? What is a Big Bois? Did you ever receive a get well card from Big Bois, Grace?
I ain't got a clue who the heck is it?
I've got a clue who Big Bois is. We've got another goal though. Thanks for your tweets. Who scored? Manchester City are 2-1 up against Barcelona. It's De Bruyne. De Bruyne has scored against Barcelona. Manchester City are winning 2-1. Mark, what's the aggregate score currently? Well, it's not aggregate, is it? Forget that, it's not aggregate. Oh, well done, Mark, you passed. Brilliant. Keep your tweets coming in. At FanTV UK, we're going to say goodbye to Stephen and Craig, our Chelsea fans, during this break. Gary, you're not going anywhere, you lovely man. Craig, it was an absolute honour to have you on our sofa tonight. That world record is phenomenal. Would you like us now to keep sending you get well cards?
No, please, don't send no more. Help other kids out there, help other people.
Okay.
I've had too many.
Craig, thank you so much. Our world record holder, let's hear it. And Stephen will be back in 2 minutes. It's Fan TV on Sky 212. Don't go anywhere. Good times. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 o'clock tonight. We've still got Gary, our Spurs fan, on the lime green sofa. Stephen and the lovely Craig, our world record holder, has left us. We'll bring some more fans onto the sofa very, very shortly. If you think you know who the celeb wash bag belongs to tonight, shall I give you another clue? We've only had one clue so far. Have we got time for a clue? Let's do another clue, because we only have one so far. It was a pot noodle. The second clue is a Manic Street Preachers CD. Manic Street Preachers and a cheeky pot noodle. If you think you know whose wash bag I've tea-leafed, I'm a hashtag dirty klepto. Get in touch. For the second time tonight, I'll have a foul, please. Okay, let's have another vowel. Well, thank you very much. Hey, why not have it twice? Why not? Why not? Let's have a vowel, please. You've had an I so far. Hit me with another one. It's an O. Could it be any more difficult? An I and an O from the surname of a famous footballer involved in a fouling incident. Gary, without revealing the name, any clue? Yeah. Okay, keep it yourself, that's great. Let's talk grassroots and also some Liverpool. We've got Simon and Stuart to talk grassroots and Liverpool. Welcome them to the sofa, please. Come on, guys. Simon, lovely to meet you. Stuart, lovely to meet you. Thank you, brother. Before we start talking grassroots, let's go over to the Costas because we've got friend of the show. We love him. He is a font of all Premiership knowledge, the one and only Chris Darwin. Let's hear it.
Tales from the top flight.
Chris, you are an absolute legend, sir. How are things on the Costas?
Very nice, thank you, Justin. Costa coffee tonight.
Is it really?
No.
Okay, let's kick off with Sunderland Arsenal.
Yeah, every week that goes by makes it more and more unlikely that Sunderland are going to be able to recruit a decent manager when they finally sack Moyes. 10 games in, they've got 2 points. Moyes is refusing to panic. I think the time is now when it comes to panicking for Moisey. I mean, they are pretty much stuffed. Carragher fired the ultimate shots to Sunderland yesterday by likening them to Aston Villa last season. In fact, saying they were worse than Villa last season. And I like that for 2 reasons. One, it was true. But 2, it reminded me about how bad Villa were last year. And they really don't get enough of a mention nowadays. Moyes has also accepted his charge of misconduct, which is great news, which means he's going to be banned from the relegation 6-pointer against Hull. He decided not to appeal to make sure he could be on the bench for that game, but the players were a little bit disappointed as they would have rather he would have been in the stands. So, Arsenal, they turned it around, didn't they? Sunderland looked like they were going to get a point, then they collapsed quicker than a badly baked cake on the Great British Bake Off.
Chris, since leaving Everton, why aren't teams playing for David Moyes?
I think that's a really good question. Let's be honest. He got lucky at Everton, didn't he, really? He didn't actually do that much. He got them up to the Champions League places once, and then they got knocked out in the qualifying round. And other than that, I mean, Bobby Martinez won more for Everton than Moyes did in a decade, and that's saying something. He's just not a very good manager.
It seems that he lacks the ability to inspire a dressing room, Chris.
Inspire, recruit good players, select a team that's going to do well. You could probably go on and on and on, really. I mean, Ferguson, I'd love to know what Ferguson was thinking when he selected him for the United job. I've got a feeling he may have been protecting his own legacy.
How much longer do you think David Moyes has got, Chris, realistically?
I don't know. What time is it?
If they don't get rid of him quick, we were talking about this on the sofa earlier, do you think Sunderland are a certainty for relegation?
I think they're a certainty for relegation already. I mean, even Sam Allardyce is going to be looking at this now and going, nah, I don't fancy this one, boys. It's a little bit too far gone.
Yeah.
They'll probably end up giving him to Christmas, even though they know they're down, and then they'll get some kind of caretaker in for the time being and start again next season.
OK, let's move on to United Burnley, Chris.
Yeah, United. I mean, people across the world for many, many years have tried to work out how to stop Zlatan scoring goals. And finally, somebody's cracked it. Jose. I mean, yet another game at Old Trafford where the opposition goalkeepers put in an absolutely superhuman performance. But how many more games does it take, really, before people start to question United's finishing ability? Got to give Jose some credit, however. He did manage to eke a clean sheet out of a team that had Marcus Rocco in the back four, so he's not lost it completely. That takes a little bit of talent. But he's going to be delighted when he saw what Pogba was up to yesterday, wasn't he? I mean, the whole Pog bunny thing.
Yep.
Pays 89 million quid for a rabbit that goes missing down a hole every weekend. Really disappointing.
Unbelievable. We had two Chelsea fans on the sofa tonight earlier on, Chris, and Stephen said that as a Chelsea fan, he thinks Mourinho needs to take a break from football. Would you agree with that?
I think that's pretty much what he's doing at the moment, isn't it? I mean, it's... No, in all seriousness, Jose doesn't look like the man that we all saw come into the Premier League a decade or so ago with the special one claims. He does look tired, he does look beaten, and he's actually starting to look like he's lost confidence in his own sort of ability, I think, which is something you could never say was going to happen to Jose. He's putting up a very brave front at the moment, but, I mean, even going back and bringing in Schweinsteiger, like he needs another immovable object in the middle of the park. I mean, it's crazy.
Okay, let's move on to West Brom City now, Chris.
Yeah, that City crisis lasted a long time, didn't it?
Yeah.
West Brom got absolutely shellacked by City, and it looks like Barcelona are going the same way tonight. Pep's obviously using Aguero in the less important games now, and great to see him put in a brilliant performance against West Brom. Gundogan got a brace that day to go with his goal tonight. Just worth remembering that Gundogan cost 20 million and Pogba's agent got 24 million for the United deal. Just leave that there for a second.
Unbelievable.
Fair play to the West Brom fans. They were probably the real stars for West Brom at the weekend with a great song of we've lost the ball every time they lost it to City, turning it around to we've got the ball on the rare occasion that they managed to keep it for a hoof up the pitch.
Would you still be tipping Manchester City for the title at this rate, Chris, at this stage of the season?
I did have them down to win it at the start of the season, which almost guarantees that they won't. The crisis was a little bit overstated, really. I mean, Pep is an absolute quality manager. He's going to work out week by week what he actually needs to do to win this league. And, yeah, I think they're still the team to beat.
Well, let's talk about Palace and Liverpool. Based on Liverpool's result at Palace, do you think Liverpool are City's main title contenders?
I don't know about main, but they're certainly the most entertaining. I mean, no disrespect to Spurs with the guy on the sofa. Spurs was superb when they beat City. One of the best performances I've seen in the Premier League for many, many years. But with Liverpool, you are getting genuine entertainment at the moment. I mean, Kloppo's gone out there. He's even managed to win a game with Mourinho back in the side. I mean, Mourinho probably needs to learn that he gets a little bit tighter to the winger when he's about to put a cross in. He doesn't have to be 10 yards back. It wasn't a free kick. But to be fair to him, he did get closer than anyone got to Matip when he scored his goal. So it's, no, Liverpool looking good. I'm enjoying them at the moment.
Chris, Klopp doesn't seem to be overly concerned about conceding either.
I think when you look at the front guys they've got playing at the moment, I mean, Sturridge was on that list of potential outcasts that people might like to see at their club. There won't be many Premier League teams that would turn down having Daniel Sturridge for a decent price. The guy's got goals in him. But his work rate isn't what Klopp wants. And he fancies the guys that he's picking at the moment, and they are doing an incredible job.
Are Liverpool too shaky at the back, though, Chris, to be serious, genuine title contenders?
As long as they keep outscoring the opposition, I don't think it really matters. And don't forget, Liverpool haven't had the easiest start to the season either. At the start of the year, City had played all the easier teams until they met Spurs. Liverpool played a few tough teams at the start and got good results. So, no, I think Liverpool could. I don't know if they'll go as far as winning it, but I think they're certainly going to have a big say in where the title ends up.
Well, the other thing, of course, with Liverpool is that they don't have Champions League football to worry about. You've got Manchester City playing Barcelona tonight. You've got Spurs playing Bayer Leverkusen. And Liverpool have got Watford next Sunday at home.
Well, exactly. Yeah, feet up, and then they can go out and entertain the guys at Anfield in the game on Sunday. Though I think, and I could be wrong here, but I think Watford is typically a bit of a tricky game for Liverpool. So it probably won't be completely cut and dried.
We've got Stuart, a Liverpool fan on the lime green sofa. Let me just bring him in on this. Do you think the Watford game is going to be tricky for you, Stuart?
It shouldn't be, no. I think the lesson was learnt last year when they beat us 3-0. And the way Klopp's got the team sorted out is to avoid that. And it's almost, I mean, thinking back this season so far, he's right to say we've got some difficult games out of the way. But the second game we lost against Burnley was almost like the rude awakening we needed to keep reality in check, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. OK, let's finally move on to Southampton v Chelsea, Chris.
Yeah, that was a surprising game from my point of view. I did actually think that Southampton might get a draw out of it. But Antonio Conte headed into the match with sort of a big motivation to shove some words back down Sir Alex's mouth. Fergie had sort of claimed that Chelsea weren't title contenders this year. But I don't think you want to fire up Conte too much. It doesn't take too much to get his fires sort of burning. The pundits, however, they don't seem to know too much about Chelsea at the moment. Jamie Redknapp was talking up that young English talent. That's Victor Moses, the 26-year-old Nigerian international. Yet again, as I often say on this show, it's love to see these ex-pros stealing a career, people like us that know what we're talking about. Hey, mate?
Absolutely brilliant. Chris, would you stay with us until the other side of the break? Because we don't want to lose you.
Of course, no worries.
You lovely man. OK, we're going to take a quick break. Chris isn't going to go anywhere. And then when we come back, we'll also be talking about your grassroots book, Simon, which I understand is a photographic book. And you've taken all the photos. And Stuart, you've written the foreword.
I have indeed, yes.
OK, so we'll talk grassroots, we'll talk Liverpool, and we'll have the legend that is Chris Darwin from Tales from the Top Flight. After the break, don't go anywhere. Back into is Fan TV. Thank you, Chris. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 p.m. tonight. If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, don't forget to refresh at the top of every hour. We don't want to lose you. We've got lovely Simon and Stuart talking about grassroots football on the lime green sofa. And Gary is still with us, our Tottenham Hotspurs fan. And from Tales from the Top Flight, friend of the show, the wonderful Chris Darwin from the Costas is with us on the Skype. Yes. Chris, just to pick back up with Palace Liverpool, based on that game, do you think Liverpool will be there or thereabouts the other side of Christmas?
Yeah, I think so. As you say, they haven't got European football to worry about too much. They're rotating in with the kids in the League Cup, and they're playing very well. So yeah, I think they'll certainly be making a good run for it.
Okay, let's move on to Swansea, and Bob Bradley is their new manager. I don't think they've had a win yet under Bob Bradley, have they? Swansea Stoke.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't. The young English talent that's Wilfred Boney finally turned.
Oh, Chris, have we lost you?
Turned up for Stoke last night. Of course, Stoke won. No, I'm still here, my friend.
Perfect.
Good. Yeah, of course, Stoke won. It's nearly November, and it's around about Halloween that they start running some wins into the game. The milk tray man, that's Bob Bradley, is getting a harsh lesson in Premier League football. If he's going to keep losing to teams that play in red and white, they could end up lower than Sunderland by the end of the season.
Boney and Allen. Oh, we've got a goal, Chris. We've got another goal. Who scored? Gundogan has scored again for Manchester City, Chris.
What can I say? 20 million well spent.
20 million well spent. Are you watching, Pogba? Is that now Manchester City 3, Barcelona 1? You wouldn't have bet on that before kick-off, would you, Chris? Man City 3, Barcelona 1?
Wow. No, I thought Barcelona were going to turn them over quite comfortably, but as we know, I know nothing.
Chris, before we love you and leave you for another night, briefly, Leicester finally get their first point away from home. Your thoughts on that, please?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Gary, but I think there's a chance that they probably should have had all 3 as well. That was the softest penalty of the weekend, really, wasn't it? What a Drinkwater do. Get a little bit close to the sweat on the guy's back. But it's nice to see Jansen get a chance to score a goal. Get to feel the ball hitting the back, even if it's from the penalty spot. So, no, it was a good game. It was a good game. Both teams are solid, but never a penalty in a million years.
Yeah, he needs to get his striking boots on sooner rather than later, doesn't he?
Jansen.
Yeah.
Jansen, it seems Chris can only score from penalties.
He's only keeping the shirt warm for Kane anyway, isn't he? So he'll be back at the weekend, and hopefully Kane can restart his season and hope it's not August.
Chris, you've got to worry, surely, if you're a Tottenham fan. You're waiting on one man to return from injury to make a difference.
I don't think they've lost since he's been out, though, really, have they? I mean, Son, when he was playing in that striking position, especially against City, he was superb. I was quite surprised to see that he's not doing that a little bit more often since. Look, if Pochettino's got a team together, we can afford not to put Dyer in the holding midfield role. Pochettino's got a good side together.
Chris, you are a font of all Premier League knowledge. Thank you so much. We'll speak to you again very, very soon, my friend. I just want to say, everybody should subscribe to Tales from the Top Flight because it really is amazing. Chris, we love you, baby.
Thanks, Justin. Good to see you, mate. See you next week.
See you next week, mate. Lots of love. Thank you, Chris. Just briefly, before we start talking grassroots, Gary, on that soft penalty decision, Ranieri felt that Janssen initiated the contact with Huff and fell softly. Would you agree with that?
Nah, he should have been sent off for it. Nah, it was a soft one. It was a soft one, wasn't it?
It was definitely soft.
Yeah, soft, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
Unbelievable. Simon, sorry, Gary, we've got a goal. We're talking about penalties. Who's got one? Celtic have got a penalty. Dembele has won a penalty. No, he scored a penalty for Celtic. What's the scoreline? Give me the scoreline. It's 1-1 in the Celtic game, okay. And 3-1, in case you didn't know, Man City are beating Barcelona at home 3-1. It's a brace for Gadungadung. Brilliant. Let's talk grassroots. Stuart, tell us about the book. You've written a foreword. Simon, you're the photographer.
Yeah.
What can we expect if we buy this book? What's it all about?
I think you should probably... You did the project, Simon, so you tell them what you did.
My dad played on Hackney Marshes in the 70s, and I went there as a kid, small child, about 3 years old. Can't really remember going up there, so I thought I'd go up there as an adult and document Hackney Marshes as an area of massive football. You know, so much going on up there, so many different cultures, so many different faces. I just wanted to document it over a 9-month period. My dad played for the most successful football team in the history of Hackney Marshes.
Did he really? What's the name of the team?
MG Sports.
MG Sports.
Mazzini Garibaldi Sports.
Give me the name again.
Mazzini Garibaldi Sports.
Oh, I love it. The most successful team in
the history, yeah. Which I didn't realise when I first started out. So, yeah, that was kind of an extra bonus. So I just want to document there's so many different cultures, so many different teams. Just gives you a massive cross-section of London and how great London is and all the different cultures. And yeah.
We've got some footage, I believe, as well. Did you shoot this, Simon?
I didn't actually. It was John Hooper, which is a friend of ours.
Yeah.
And we did a short film. We all worked together and did like a little short film.
Okay, let's just have a quick look at the start of your film, shot by John Hooper.
John Hooper,
I'm so sorry. About what is the UK's unofficial home of Sunday League, the Hackney Marshes. Have a look at this.
They were great times when you see, you to be there and this buzz and this, you get kitted out, and it was probably the only clean shirt you'll wear that week would have been the mother who's washed all these shirts and pressed them, and you'd give you your shirt and you'd put it on, and you'd be so proud, and off you'd go, ready to star in this game. Not quite true, because some of the times you didn't,
My name is Simon De Principe, photographer. So the project is going to be called Grassroots, that's the name of the book, which is a project on Hackney Marshes, predominantly the football players on Hackney Marshes.
I think grassroots football is most important. The FA don't really back us. They got no idea what grassroots football is. And by grassroots football, I mean the real grassroots, which is here. Park football, that's the real grassroots.
I didn't really know what to expect, but when I went up there, I was like, wow, this is just mental. Like, there's so many pitches. Hearing stories about how many pitches there used to be up there, and how many. I never really knew that there was like hundreds of pitches, or now there's, I don't know how many pitches there are now, maybe in the 60s, 70s, but I don't think a lot of people in London actually are aware of the vastness of Hackney Marshes and the size and the. How many people are generally up there on a Sunday. It's like, it's amazing. I went up there for 9 months, and every Sunday after the games were finished, I would shoot between 5 and 10 football players, all shot in the same framing, almost like a Panini sticker album sort of thing. Just being up there and seeing all the different cultures and the different, you could have like a Ukrainian team, a Turkish team, and that's really interesting, because those cultures are all coming together on a Sunday morning, and it's like a meeting place. It's like it's a way for them to just come together, really.
I think it keeps the community going. I think it's a good place for everyone across London to come together and just socialise with each other, and it's all in good fun as well. So I think it keeps the community going. That would be my.
Well, it was a great encouragement, because I was not only playing football, but socially it was a great help to me, because we organise quite a lot of events. I mean, when we with the football team came the social life.
Best way to start your day, to be fair. You wake up in the morning, have a quick game, wherever long it lasts, then you have the rest of the day just to get on with your daily things, which is the best way to start your day.
Your dad is Claudio Ranieri? Yeah. That is unbelievable. Kept that quiet. What did you give him a pseudonym for? That is, what a beautiful looking film.
He gets asked for autographs every day.
Does he really?
Every day.
It's uncanny, the resemblance. Lovely to see your dad in that film.
Even when he goes abroad, he gets asked.
He gets asked to sign?
All the time.
And does he sign Claudio Ranieri?
Yeah.
Of course he does. Wouldn't you?
He has to get paid.
I love it.
They should charge £5 for an autograph.
Can I say, Johnny Walker, the chairman of the league that spoke there, he's 82. Now, he kicked a football on Hackney Marshes in 1946, the first year it was opened after the war. Because one of the things we learned doing the project is that Hackney Marshes was obviously a marsh, filled in by the rubble of the Blitz, to give the people of East London somewhere to play, as it were, somewhere for recreation and stuff. And 2016, it's the 70th anniversary as well, which is a happy accident, really, I think, for the book, but it's a nice thing to think about.
So that's just pure coincidence for the book.
Yeah.
So if we want to get our hands on the book, how can we find it, Simon?
Yeah, I bought you one.
Oh, you lovely man. Thank you so much.
It's all wrapped.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, sir. That's the book,
Ranieri signed it.
By Simon...
De Principe.
De Principe. Simon De Principe. I love it. And
you can buy it on www.simon www.palmstudios.co.uk.
www.palmstudios.co.uk. And I'm sure we'll tweet that, Mark, as well, will we? So you can go to @FanTV UK. Yes, we're going to, thanks, Raj. We're going to tweet that as well. Thank you so much. I'll put that on the shelf. That's beautiful.
Yeah, nice
so is it the history of Hackney Marshes or just the recent history?
No, it's 9 months. Every Sunday I went up there for 9 months, and I basically it's a season on Hackney Marshes, and I just wanted to take as many portraits as I could, and kind of like what I've said in the documentary. It's kind of like a document all the faces and all the to get that complete cross section of what makes London great as well. So it's not solely about football. It's kind of about what makes.
His dad's an important part of it, isn't it? Like when I interviewed his dad.
I'm going to jump in there, Stuart. Hold that thought. We've got a break. We'll pick that up after this break. Don't go anywhere. Talking more grassroots in 2 minutes. Fan TV, good times. Sorry, buddy. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212. It's all happened during the break. We've got Kenny Ken. He's back on the Skype with an update in the Arsenal Ludogorets game. Kenny Ken. It can only be a goal. What's happening, Kenny Ken?
We just scored a goal completely against the run of play. Basically, El Nelly's just came on in the 86th minute for a Granit Xhaka. He's put Ozil through. The Ludogorets played the hard line, tried to play offside, gone through. Like I said, ran to the keeper. Took about probably 10 minutes to try and put it through the net because he waited for everyone to fall on the floor. and then he just put it into an empty net. It's 3-2. We're on the attack now because Sanchez has got the ball. Come on, son.
Oh, come on, Sanch.
Who scored? Ozil?
Unbelievable.
Ozil's made it, put us 3-2 up.
Ozil.
Like I said,
it's got to be 14.
We only got one more minute left. One more minute left. Oh no, we've got a free kick. Arsenal free kick. Stay for the free kick.
Okay, we're not going anywhere, Kenny. Talk us through the free kick. Who's going to take it?
Well, it's in like I said, it's in Ludacris' half. But they're showing a goal again. Like Ozil's he's lifted it over the keeper. He's taken on about 2 or 3 players. They're both fallen down. Like I said, made himself look stupid. He's putting an empty net. 3-2. Game over, hopefully, but we still got that free kick. He's sucking his thumb, by the way. That's a sucking his thumb celebration.
Ozil sucking his thumb. Ken.
Sanchez is 1 minute. Sanchez has just got off, and we brought a Wobie in to waste a bit of time. But it's still free kick to Arsenal. We're still in and it's in the Ludacris half. So we're just waiting for the game to.
How long of the match left? How much of the match left, Ken?
Well, like I said, we're in injury time. We're in injury time now. It's injury time. Oh, no, let's just stay for the free kick.
We're staying for the free kick. Right.
No, it's a waste. It's a false dawn. He's made
it. Wasted.
Ozil's passed it back to Mustafi, and now we're trying to sort of see the game out.
Kenny, just very, very briefly, Ozil, it's about time Wenger gave him that 250 grand a week, isn't it?
I'll tell you one thing, Justin. If you take away the goal and the assist, it wasn't a 250 grand a week celebration performance, but we're winning. I'll take a win all day long. It was very sloppy. Both teams are shambolic defensively. I don't think it's going to bode well for the North London derby. We defend like this against Tottenham on Sunday, we're going to get absolutely mullered.
Oh, okay. So, Ken, so with this win, you're clear at the top of the group now?
Yeah, because Basel's equalised them against PSG, and like I said, in Basel in Switzerland.
2 minutes left on that other game, Kenny Ken. So if it stays that way, then you'll be clear at the top.
Yeah, but right now, like Ludacris has put a cross in, and we managed to kick off. It's a Ludacris corner.
It's a long old minute, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a long minute. Kenny Ken, I'm just going to bring Gary into the chat. He's on the sofa. He's our Spurs fan. You've heard what Kenny Ken said, Gary. If Arsenal defend like they're defending tonight against Ludacris, against you at the weekend, you'll take them.
If we can put our chances away, there will be chance. I don't think there'll be many chances in the game, but it's whoever takes their chances. And
Kenny Ken, do you think?
Get it! Oh no!
What happened? What happened, Kenny Ken?
A heart attack.
What happened?
It's like a corner from Ludacris. Ball's going to bobble around the pitch. We managed to just clear it away just in the last thing. Ludacris on the ball. We've only got about 1 minute and 3 seconds left.
Another minute?
Jeez, yeah, 1 minute and 3 seconds left of the game. Like, so we're in injury time now. Ludacris are attacking. Come on, mate, get a ball out. Come on, Jenkinson. Come on, son. Come on, just clear the blood. Clear the thing.
Kenny, who can we hear screaming in the background?
A relative, mate. We're all gooners in this house. We're all having heart attacks here.
Can we see the relative?
Come on. A Wobie's on the ball. Come on, son.
This is unbelievable.
Who needs live footage? Play it out, mate. Come on, we've got 30 seconds left. Come on, see this out.
There's only 30 seconds left.
Right, so throwing, right. Come on, waste a bit of time. 23 seconds. Come on, mate. Ref, where's that whistle of yours? Come on, son.
Panic attack.
How much should I pay you to finish early? They're showing again. It's like basically like a head has gone down. Like I said, it's a bit of scram on the box. Coquelin's
PSG have just scored, Kenny Ken. PSG have just scored.
Oh no, it's a score, but it's 3 minutes. 3 minutes are up. The game's got to be up. Come on, referee. 3-2 Arsenal. Game over.
Okay, that's game over. 3-2 Arsenal.
3-2 Arsenal.
Kenny Ken, PSG have just scored. So if it stays that way, then you'll be joint top of the group. Is that right?
Absolutely. It's joint top of the group. Both teams going to qualify, and we're going to be going into the North London derby without any stress whatsoever. I wouldn't be in your shoes, Gary, mate.
He picked up.
Kenny Ken.
You better hope Kano ain't playing, eh? He likes scoring against you.
Yeah, but the thing with Kano is that he's only about 75% fit, so I think he'll start on the bench on Sunday, and then you'll play the prolific Yateson.
Yeah, he'll start on the bench, but
Kenny
he might not
Ken,
even
if
play.
Kane doesn't feature on Sunday, will Tottenham trouble you in any way?
Yes, they will, because they're a fantastic side. They've got a very good midfield. They've got their midfield. They've got embarrassing riches. In fact, if you look at both squads, Arsenal and Tottenham, I think both Arsenal and Tottenham have got the best squads in the Premiership.
Oh, aye.
Absolutely, 100%.
Hang on a minute. Who is this?
Is he making it up?
Kenny Ken. Kenny Ken's been body snatched. He's bigging up Tottenham.
It's just a fact. If you look at Man
Lift
City,
that top up. Has he got a Spurs shirt on?
Seriously, I know you guys got to go, but I tell you what, if you look at Man City side, you take out De Bruyne and Aguero, they are average. Both defences of Arsenal Tottenham are better than Man City's. We've both got better goalkeepers than Man City. Please you try to tell me that Bravo's better than Lloris and Czech. I don't think so.
OK, thank you, Kenny Ken. I will see you on the lime green sofa very soon, my friend. Thank you so much.
Remember, you've got the Kenny Ken kicks off on Thursday. I don't know if you're doing it or Tarrant Out is doing it.
I'll be here Thursday, Kenny Ken. I'll see you Thursday.
Well, I've got a biggie for you.
Go on.
I can't tell you. It's a secret.
No, tell us. Come on.
No,
You're going to tell me Thursday?
Yeah, I'll tell you Thursday. You've got to be patient, Justin. You've got these lovely guests. You're neglecting them all for me.
Well, you know what I'm like for blowing the spuds. Kenny Ken, thank you so much, you lovely man. I'll see you on the sofa Thursday night.
No, you'll by Skype, I'm afraid.
Oh, I'll see you on the Skype. We love you, Kenny Ken, everybody.
Love you all. Right.
Speak to you Thursday, mate. Unbelievable comments there from Kenny Ken. If you're a Manchester City fan, I would love to hear your response. Kenny Ken's words, Manchester City are decidedly average without Aguero, and who else did he say?
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne and Aguero. Man City fans, get in touch. You're decidedly average without De Bruyne and Aguero, and both Arsenal and Spurs have got better defences than you.
He's whipped up an audience
What
nest there in the
happened
old
to the
double
2 minutes earlier where they were going to get their asses whooped? They were get whooped.
Get whooped. OK, we've had a lot of talk about bums tonight, but we're OK because we're after 9 o'clock, so no worries there. Fan TV channel is the Skype. Join in at fantv.me is the email, at FanTV UK is the Twitter. I would love to get a Manchester City fan's response to Kenny Ken's comment. Sensational. You're not as good as Arsenal or Spurs without De Bruyne or Aguero. Stuart, as a neutral, you're Liverpool. Would you agree with that?
Well, if you took out Sanchez and Cazorla out of Arsenal, how good would they be? It's a bit of a nonsense equation, really, isn't it?
OK, it's a nonsense equation. That's Stuart's thoughts. What are yours? Get in touch. Let's briefly go back to grassroots. Simon, you've produced a wonderful book about the Hackney Marshes. We saw your dad on the 3-minute film clip.
So when I interviewed his dad, he was something didn't make it into the film, but he told us a story about when he first moved to England, living in a bedsit outside Brighton, and didn't speak a word of English. And trips up to London, playing football with other Italians and first-generation Italians who could speak English, helped him settle into life in Britain, which is kind of what Simon's picked up brilliantly with the project, is that you can see how football, it's cliche to say, but, it's a universal language, isn't it, football?
It's international language,
so people you can turn up without speaking a word of English and just bring your boots in a bag, and you can still do that today.
Absolutely. You played on the Marshes yourself, Gary?
Yeah, well, I did. I played them as a boy and as a man as well. So we got a funny little story as it goes. We wanted it. I mean, it's massive. I think it's actually the biggest football. Yeah, it is.
They had 100 pitches on there originally. It's down to 80 now.
Well, we went over there one game. We went over there, and you got loads of cows. If you ain't moving a cow pat or the broken glass, before we had the game, there's all cows on the pitch. Now we was kicking off around about 10 o'clock. I think we didn't get it kicked off to about 11 o'clock, I think. You try and move a cow.
I'll tell you what, the kids today, they've got no idea. Cows for goalposts.
Well, we use them as a defence.
Exactly, we had to use cows, moo cows for goalposts. You haven't lived, kids of today. You haven't lived. And it'd be bouncing off the cows. Very difficult to score back in them days, Gary.
Was, especially how the pitches were. I mean, now them pitches are a lot better, aren't they?
They're good now.
A lot better.
Really good now.
Could you hit a cow with a banjo?
Well, I could. I had a good scoring record over there.
You'll have to put the goalposts up.
Stuart, also very briefly, if we want to see the rest of that film, where can we find that film?
It's available through Vimeo. So if people search for John Hooper's account on Vimeo, the film's there open for everyone to look at.
We saw 3 minutes. How long is the film?
It's 9 minutes long, so it sort of it talks to. There's more like vox pops. There's a nice moment where I asked them, has anyone ever played drunk? And basically everyone admitted they had. And one guy said, I am now, so to speak. So
brilliant.
It's,
Simon, of the whole project, out of everything that you've put into the book, if you could pick out a favourite photograph with the best story behind it, I know it's a tough question, but what would be the standout for you?
That's quite hard, actually. Not one particularly, but like there'd be like the game would always kick off at 10:30, and then it'd always finish at 12:15. So I'd always get a portrait done of one player after the game and get multiple players after the game. There'd be one guy where I was like, "Can I take your picture?" And they were all arguing, and one guy was like. He's like, I used to organise this in prison, and now I'm out, and then I'm not going to organise it anymore because you lot don't care. And I was like, did you win? And he was like, yeah, we won. And I was like, God, you hear all these stories, you hear so many things going on, the atmosphere up there. It's kind of like the whole thing about grassroots is like, that's where it is, that's
Absolutely.
where grassroots
It's like some of the half-time talks.
There's so much passion.
We're running out of time. Sorry, Gary. Let's wrap up poll 3. Let's remind ourselves of the question and how you voted. Besides funding, what do you think the biggest flaw at grassroots level football is? I'm sorry, are we launching this? We didn't even launch it, sorry. It's been running for 40 minutes, but it's the first time we've put it out there on the show. Besides funding, what do you think the biggest flaw at grassroots level football is? Facilities, coaches, parents, or lack of media coverage. We've got 30 seconds. Simon, how would you vote?
I'll go for lack of media coverage, actually.
Stuart?
I would echo that. I think we're doing a good job here.
You would go with what? Say that again?
I'd agree with him. We're doing a good job promoting it.
Yeah, for sure. Lack of media coverage. It needs a lot more.
Okay. Are we almost at the end of the show? Oh, we've got another break coming up. Thank God. Okay, because we haven't even wrapped. Thank goodness, I can't keep up. Don't go anywhere because I've tea leaf the wash bag and we've got. I'll have a foul, please. Don't go anywhere. More grassroots after this. We'll be back in 2. Good times. Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212 all the way till 10 p.m. tonight. It's a hot show. We've had so many great guests on the sofa. Let's hear it for all the guests tonight. It's been a bumper show. It's been a bumper show. We've still got Simon and Stuart who have put together this beautiful grassroots book. Simon is our photographer who has done all of the photographs in this book. Stuart's written the foreword. Simon, just remind us again, if we want to get our hands on a copy of this book, how do we get it?
www.palmstudios.co.uk. You can buy it on there.
Thank you. And just to be clear, Gary, our Tottenham fan, had absolutely nothing to do with this book.
I inspired it.
It's part of the heritage. Part of the heritage.
You look properly wounded. You look properly wounded. I love it. Nothing to do with the grassroots book whatsoever. And sensationally, during that last break, Simon tells me he's off to Brazil on Thursday for the next book. What's that? Yeah, absolutely.
I want in.
Yeah.
Gary wants
I'm
it.
waiting for my invite.
Gary's coming with me.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I'm already there.
Jolly up.
Unbelievable.
I'm already on the beach
very
there playing
briefly,
beach
so
volley.
what's the next book about?
It's just going to be football. It's going to be a massive, general thing of football in Brazil. It could be anything. Just going over there, 5 months, taking pictures of people playing football. Could be anything.
Okay, it's from grassroots to Brazil.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Listen, I've kleptoed a wash bag. It's been such a packed show. I've almost forgotten the fact that I'm a #dirty klepto tonight. I've given you 2 clues so far. It was a pot noodle. Clue 2 was a Manic Street Preachers CD. Let me give you another 2 clues. Clue number 3 is this football shirt. It's Dutch. It's a Dutch football shirt. A pot noodle. A Manic Street Preachers. Yeah, you know Ginger Ninja. The Ginger Ninja's still with us. He's on the floor. Ginger Luke is still here. He loves it. A Manic Street Preachers CD and a Dutch football shirt. And the 4th and final clue tonight is a picture. Have a look at this. It's clearly a fried egg. So, a pot noodle, a Dutch football shirt, the Manic Street Preachers CD, and a fried egg. Fried egg. Gary, without revealing, do you think you know whose wash bag I've kleptoed? Gary thinks you know. Stuart, I'm a dirty klepto, can't help myself.
I've got no idea, if I'm honest.
No idea. Simon?
No.
I'll have the shirt off your back. Any idea?
No.
No idea. If you think you know whose wash bag I've kleptoed, get in touch. I'll have a foul, please. We are looking for the name of a famous footballer involved in a fouling incident. So far, I think you've had an I and a O. There it is. 2 vowels in the second name. There's an E. The first name ends in an E. E-I-O-U. Let's have another one. Come on, I love this. It's my favourite feature. We've got a U there. E-U-I-O. Simon, any idea which footballer we're looking for?
Hold on.
He's putting his spectacles on. Stu, any idea?
No.
Gaz, any idea? You're closest to the screen. Don't say if you know, but do you think you know?
No.
Yeah, I know.
No, do you know? He hasn't got a clue.
I'm just saying to you, yes to anything.
I'm just hearing in my ear, Gary,
I ain't
somewhat
got a clue.
bizarrely, it might not be a player. It's the weirdest thing I've ever had in my ear. Well, second weirdest. It's not the time of the place.
Savio.
Hey, we've got...
They're getting a set, isn't they?
Unbelievable. It might not be a player. What's that? That's what the feature is. We're looking for a player. Okay, I've no idea what is going on. We could be looking for a player. We could be looking for a horse. I've no idea.
Maybe a manager.
Manager.
Oh, it could be a manager. Oh, what?
I know who it is now.
Yeah.
It could be a manager. Stuart is
It
clearly...
could be a horse, though. There is the variable.
Could be a manager, could be a player, could be a horse. Okay, we've got another Skype caller. It's another friend of the show. It's our Swansea fan, Abigail. Abby, are you there?
I am indeed. Good evening.
Abigail, good evening. I was worried that we were going to miss you tonight. Thank God you're there. And I can see one of the greatest rock biographies on your bookshelf. The book there on Keith Moon.
Tony Benn.
I've read it. No, not Tony Benn. That's the second best. That Keith Moon biography is phenomenal, Abigail. Abigail, you haven't come on to talk about Keith Moon. Please, would you stop banging on about Keith Moon? You've come on to talk about Swansea. Bob Bradley, your new manager, former manager of the USA side. It's the first time we've had an American manager in the Premiership. He's still looking for his first win, Abigail.
Yeah, I think I'd rather talk about Keith Moon at the moment, if I'm honest.
I bet.
Yeah, it's very difficult to judge him at the moment. I think our problems stem from higher up than management at the moment, with the lack of investment into the side, the recruitment system, and the overall, you know, the problems with Hugh Jenkins at the moment. They're a lot larger than the ones with Bob Bradley. But I think last night, one of the most disappointing things for me was the way we set up and our tactics that we employed, because we had Fur and Key in midfield, who neither of them are fond of the physical aspects of the game. So we knew that we were going to be overrun in midfield. So that was no surprise. And also Kingsley, who was fantastic against Watford last weekend. He was playing for the under-23s last night and wasn't involved in the squad at all. And Neil Taylor came back into the side. Neil Taylor has been nowhere near good enough this season. So, you know, that's quite disappointing for us to take. And then it's a lack of investment. We didn't, when other teams were going forward and putting money into players, you look at Stoke buying Joe Allen, bringing in Wilfred Boney on loan in the summer. We stood still and didn't bring anyone in of note and lost our captain and our leader. So, you know, this is inevitable, really. And I think a lot of fans are resigning to the fact that we could be going down this season.
Really? Have you resigned yourself to the fact that you could be going down this season, Abigail?
There's worse teams, isn't there?
At the moment, I can't think of three worse teams than us in this division. The way we've been playing, I can't think of three worse teams.
Well, Stuart is our Liverpool fan sitting on the lime green sofa with us tonight, and he's just said, in reaction to your comment, there are worse teams in the Premiership than Swansea. You can't see them going down, Stuart?
Well, I know we beat them, but they gave us a hell of a game, so it's obviously in Swansea, whereas you look at someone like Sunderland, they don't look like they've got a plan.
Sunderland don't look like they've got a plan, Abigail. We were talking about David Moyes earlier. It would seem they're a shoe-in for relegation, unfortunately.
Definitely. I watched their game at the weekend, and Khazri was the only player, really, who had any skill about him, and even he, defensively, he was like a headless chicken on the pitch, to be honest. I do agree that against Liverpool, we did put in a good performance. We pressed high up the pitch, but that was under Guidolin, and the performances under Guidolin were starting to improve. And as soon as we got rid of him, we seem to have taken a step back, really. And I think that I told you before that the decision to get rid of Guidolin had already been made before the Liverpool game. Yeah. So I think those performances, that one and the one against Man City as well, were kind of irrelevant because the board had already decided that they wanted to get rid of him. If we'd gone on that path, because I did feel for Guidolin, I feel he was hung out to dry. If he'd been given maybe the Watford match, the Stoke match, we might have been able to improve things. But Bob Bradley, I'm still not sure he's the man to take us forward.
OK, Abigail, on that note, we've got to love you and leave you. I'm afraid we are rapidly running out of time. It's been a packed show, but a pleasure to speak to you, Abby, as always. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.
Speak to you very soon. Lots of love, Abigail. Thank you very much indeed. A disheartened Swansea City fan there, Stuart. OK, we've got so much to wrap up. Are we going to wrap up our celebrity wash bag? Do we have a winner? We do have a winner for the celebrity wash bag. Let's reveal whose wash bag. No, not the wash bag. I'm sorry. I'll have a foul, please. Let's have a look. Let's remind ourselves of the vowels that we had and the player's name we were looking for. I'll have a foul, please. OK, we're struggling to get it up. That's OK. An E, an O, a U, an I, and another O. Let's reveal the name.
Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho. Unbelievable. I can't believe you didn't get it, guys.
Not Shergar.
No, Stuart thought it was Shergar. Quality. Let's find out. Scarbs is the winner. Scarbs, congratulations. At Scarbs FIFA, who correctly identified Jose Mourinho as being the subject of our I'll have a foul, please. We're going to reveal whose wash bag I tea leave tonight as well. No winners for tonight's celebrity wash bag. The name once again Wilfred Boney. Wilfred Boney. Yep. And here's a picture of Wilfred Boney. Yep, there he is there. Wilfred Boney. That's whose wash bag.
More boneless, isn't it?
There's Wilfred Boney there. So much to cram in. Let's have the results of poll 3. Let's remind ourselves of the poll. My God, it's all happening tonight. It's all happening tonight. Unbelievable. Let's get the results of poll 3. Besides funding, what do you think the biggest flaw at grassroots level football is? 40% facilities, 7% coaches, 23% parents, 30% lack of media coverage. Simon, you put together the book. Would you agree with 40% of our voters?
I don't know. The facilities are never good enough, actually, to be done. That's
because you remember Johnny
That's
Walker said to us, if all the pitches were occupied, the facilities on Hackney Marshes only cope with something like 40% occupation. So if every pitch was booked out, they wouldn't have the facilities.
Okay, Stuart, just remind us, how would you have voted again? You didn't say.
I would go lack of media.
Lack of media, Simon, you would have gone?
I would have gone lack of media as well.
Why isn't there more media coverage when it comes to grassroots? Why isn't there more interest? Is that down to the FA and the lack of support?
Well, listening to what Johnny Walker told us, he complained that the likes of the FA and Sports Council, who like the government side of things, are interested in participation. And obviously Sunday League football is about organised football, leagues 11 aside, not 5 aside and letting everyone have a go. It's about the spirit of the game and like winning and being competitive.
Absolutely. Gary, just remind us, how would you have voted in that poll?
Yeah, I think the lack of media. I mean, say like with the facilities, but the more media coverage you get, the more attention it's going to bring on the facilities and might bring a little bit more money into the grassroots.
I mean,
pubs
were a real resource in this thing, and they're shutting down left, right, and centre.
In 10 seconds, because we're about to come to the end of the
they
show.
need a bit more
people
funding.
Voted parents. Are parents an issue?
Not for what we voted. Not for what we voted.
Okay, we got to go. Grassroots is the book. Tell us again, Simon. How can we get a copy? Very quickly.
palmstudios.co.uk.
Thank you to Simon, thank you to Stuart. They produced a brilliant book. Thank you to Gary, our Tottenham fan. Ginger Ninja, come and join me. Come on, baby, it's been a hot show. We'll be back tomorrow night with Toby Talent. I love you, Ginger Ninja. Good, thank you, Gary. Good times indeed. I'll be back on Thursday. Thank you to the team. I love you all. I love you so much. Awesome.